What's good? Welcome back to the channel this morning. Hope you guys are doing well. We got a fight that just passed up last weekend, Canelo Alvarez, and we got a fight the weekend after next with Terence Crawford. So, man, let's mix the conversation today. There's a whole lot of love going on around the world for Canelo Alvarez, and I just wonder, man, is there any way possible that anybody can catch Canelo Alvarez with the way that they judge Canelo Alvarez? There's an interview that Terence Crawford gave on I can't remember who he gave it to. Actually, I read it on Boxing News 24, and he was like, and what he was, the way that he was talking, I was like, wow, man, it's going to be very difficult for you. You can literally beat everybody at welterweight division, everybody at 54 pounds, and still not catch Canelo Alvarez in the minds of the media. But let's go say what's up. Let me say what's up to everybody in the chat, man. And by the way, also make sure you guys ask whatever questions you want to ask so we keep the boxing conversation flowing. Joseph Ayala says, salute Fannon. Or let me say what's up to everybody and I'll come back to down. What's going on, Joseph Ayala? He said, with the knockout, probably, yeah. A unanimous or split decision, no. What's going on? Before the Bell podcast said, absolutely. Black Fonz in the building. What's going on, man? Mark Kirkland, what's happening? Mr. M Pride, always good to see you, friend, man. Viva 2 Vita said, salute Martin, ready for this boxing conversation like always. Yeah, man, here we go again. You know how it goes. Got the coffee, got the wrenches. That's all we need. We got the coffee, we got the wrenches, we got the people in the building. That's all we need, man. Andrew Gray in the building. What's going on, man? Peace to you as well. Jay Styles, what's happening with you? Steve J in the building. What's going on, man? Carl Dickinson said, Porter by stoppage, brother, watch. Man, let me tell you something. I will be amazed if that pops off. If that pops off, man, then go ahead and do it, man. Hell of a career by Shawn Porter, bro. But the closer we get to the fight, I think the less people are giving Shawn Porter a chance to win the fight. That says that there's a lot of secret respect for Terence Crawford, man. Even when people are talking crazy, man, they know that dude can fight, man. I got Terence Crawford winning the fight, but Shawn Porter is a beyond live underdog. So I'm going to be amped, man. I'm telling you, this is going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good fight. There's almost no way it's not going to be a good fight. And if Terence Crawford catches him and knocks him out like he does those, I just can't see it happening, man. I mean, I can't see it. He's not injured. So ain't no eyes he's going to protect. You know what I mean? He's fresh. He's as good as he's ever been. Looks as good as he's ever been. It's going to be a good thing, man. It's going to be a good fight, man. A good even fight. You know, close enough to want to pay the money. Because I promise you this, I did not want to pay that $75 for Caleb playing Canelo Alvarez. Even though I knew daggone well, because I knew daggone well Canelo Alvarez was going to win that fight. What's going on with that? Let me do that. Yeah, there you go. Viva 2 Vita said no. Benavidez, I think. Jay Styles said Benavidez, I think, would beat Canelo. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. I know that Teddy Atlas said he deserves that. These guys deserve that fight. The Bushido in the building. What's going on, man? Said Benavidez is the only guy that beats him at more. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he's going to beat him. Those guys are two different weight classes. Think those guys are two different weight classes. So I'm not big on. I don't think that's a fight that's going to happen. In order for him to catch him and move up, like if he moved up to 160 pounds, he would still be fighting him at a catch weight. And I think that Terence Crawford needs a good, healthy amount of Combuterol to do that. But on the real, I think he already is a better fighter, bro. B-Boy Arcapedo said, just finished training, feeling good, time to relax, watch my bro Fannon and eat. That's what's up, man. Dang, I got to go run, man. I haven't ran in the last couple days, man. I'm going to definitely get out there and run today because that makes you feel wonderful. It makes you feel all right when you skip out on it. It makes you feel great when you do it afterwards. Boxing fan said, good morning, Fannon. Great morning to all in the chat. Terrence in 11. Keep your foot on their neck. Keep your foot on their necks. Hey, man, boxing PR, man, I get tired of it sometimes, man. I can't lie. I get tired of them comments in the comment section, man. Seriously, y'all some venomous people out there, bro. Y'all specialize in trying to make people miserable. Specialize. And I was like, man, I woke up, I was like, man, why do I feel so bad? And I reflect. I've been reading them damn comments. Can't avoid it, man. You want to get in there. I want to get in there and interact with people in the comment section. But, man, whenever you do, there they go. Somebody trying to say, oh, my God, you made a video about Canelo Alvarez. Your little YouTube check. That's why you're doing it, because you're a failure in life and your mother doesn't love you. like, man, will you stop projecting on me, man? My mama liked me just fine, bro. But even hearing it, it still processes in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still hear it. So, yeah, man, I'm sick of being on. I'm telling you, that's why these dudes don't get on people's necks, because they don't want to hear that. They can say, oh, I don't care, I'm good for the bad. Nah, dog. You know, nobody likes that, bro. Okay, nobody likes to have a bunch of people jump in their chat and call them every name under the book. Nobody likes that, bro. You're gonna have to if most people probably just don't read it. Richard Hill said nobody knocks out Porter. Like I said, man, if he does it though, man, that would be absolutely amazing, man. Chad, man, my man in that super chat, thank you, man. Said Chance Dotson said Canelo stops Charlo quicker than he did Caleb. Or he gets stopped. See, here's my thing with that. Charlo got a chance to knock out Canelo. Caleb Plant did not. No, he did not. See what I mean? Like, he may stop him quicker because Jamal Charlo will actually fight him. But in that same equation, Canelo Alvarez may get stopped because Jamal Charlo can crack and Caleb Plant cannot crack. In fact, when was the last time Canelo has fought one person that can crack? Gennady Golovkin. He can crack. Gennady Golovkin can crack. He beat Canelo Alvarez. He beat him in a 12-round decision because Canelo Alvarez because Gennady Golovkin can crack. That's not the case with a lot of these guys that he's been fighting, man. Trey Boy in the building said, good morning, big dog. I left a message for you on IG. Did you, man? Hold on. That ain't nothing but a thing. I'll go real time for you, Trey Boy. No joke. We'll go real time with it. Oh, you probably sent it on. Okay, you got to let me know what your name is on there because I don't see it. Hold on a second. Yeah, let me just get rid of this dude. Delete the chat. All right, sorry. Yeah, let me know which one you're talking about because I looked, but I didn't see it. But much love in that super chat, Chaz Dawson. Thank you for supporting the channel, man. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. So Mo City Menace said, Fannon, what up? Bud captured undisputed already with the KO. If Porter, he should be rated higher easily. Yeah, that's what I would think. That's what I would think. But I'm telling you, watch it. He will not get to number 3. Will not catch it because you got to remember, man, these guys got Bud. They got Bud below Monster Inoue. They got him below Monster Inoue. They got him below Alexander Usyk. Canelo, Alexander Usyk, and Monster Inoue are all rated higher according to ESPN. And I don't have Ring magazine. I don't have Ring memorized. But dude, I'm serious, man. I think he'll have to clear out that division and clear out 154. He have to be undisputed at 154 and 147 at the same time to catch Canelo. And even then he probably won't. On the way those guys do that, bro. I'm telling you. Man, what's going on, Spurl Good Marshall? Man, let me check to make sure Spurl Good Marshall got his thing, man. And my man Giovanni Walker be holding me down, man. Thank you, brother. I missed it. I don't know where you went, Spurl Good. Red Sun got deleted. Stop worrying about the trolls in the comment. Nah, dog. Stop worrying about the trolls in the comments. Hey, man, I don't worry about them. Ain't a worry. Giovanni Walker said, people do not give Crawford his recognition that he can't crack and with the skills in boxing has a great possibility at catching Porter. Much love in that super chat, man. Tell you we got Y'all, don't tell me we ain't got no Crawford fans back in here, man. It's wild how the chat has changed, man. We don't have everybody hating on Crawford no more. Notice that, Bernie the Boxer. Crawford's camp would never give me credit for that, bro. Never. They'll never give me credit for that. Terry Schmoo Jr. said, no one has beaten Canelo. He is unbeatable. Might as well pay Canelo just to stay in shape. No one is beating him. No one. Exactly. That's what they are doing, paying him to stay in shape. $40 million for a sparring match. What's going on, True Boo Staley? What's going on, man? Orlando Garcia said, no way Terence is better. Terrell to Fannon. Is the rumors Wilder and Andy Ruiz is fighting next year true? Dude, that's just a rumor, and who knows? I know that there's a chance of that. I doubt that happens in the first fight. I doubt it. I would think that it would be more likely that he would fight somebody like Trevor Bryan or somebody like that to get that belt in the WBA. When somebody originally asked me, I was like, Trevor Bryan. But then I thought about it. I was like, you know what, man? It's probably a good match for him. You know what I mean? And I think that probably he deserves that. He deserves a soft touch. That's what Malik Scott said. Not a soft touch. He was like, he's not going to be at like that upper level the first fight back because they got some stuff that they want to work on. And and it may take a fight or two for them to do it. And honestly, man, I think he should probably get in there with somebody that is absolutely positively not a big puncher, just to kind of let his dome piece heal. Because the last two fights, he got his bell rung heavy in the last two fights. You know what I mean? That last fight for sure, bro. You know what I mean? Josh Scott said Raleigh and Tiafimo said Plant was fighting scared. I think those dudes might be the most obnoxious dudes in boxing, bro. Look, man. When Raleigh Romero got the nerve to say about Gervonta Davis that he is facing 14 counts. Dude, Gervonta Davis is facing a count on, I think it's for battery on a man, bro. Like I think, and a hit and run. He's facing counts on a hit and run. He ain't facing count on for sexual assault and rape. Okay? So, dude, you need to shut up. Seriously. Like, man, I got counts on me, but he got 14 counts. Dude, but you're being accused of being a rapist, man. Borderline. You know what I mean? Like, excuse me. I don't want to I'm not saying he's guilty, but that's what I'm like, man, what are you talking about, man? Raleigh Romero just runs his mouth when he runs his mouth, man. It should shut up, bro. Don't be so. That's why I'm telling you, man, something wrong with that dude. There's something wrong with that dude. How would you say, like, you are literally had a fight snatched for you because 8 women accuse you of being a creep. And you're going to bring up that this man, you got screwed over because he's got 14 counts on him. Dude, it's not the counts that he has, the number, it's what the counts are. It's what you're accused of doing, not of what that you're accused of doing something. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you had been charged with tax evasion or something like that, your fight wouldn't have got canceled. They'd be like, oh, what's he got charged with? Oh, tax evasion. Oh, all right. Well, hey, man, I hope you work that out. Is the court date going to be before the fight? Because there ain't no pushback from that. There ain't no pushback on Gervonta Davis getting in a car accident, banging up his Ferrari or whatever he banged up, banging up somebody else's car, nobody being hurt, nobody really being hurt, and them wondering whether or not he was at the scene. That's not, they're not going to stop a fight for that. However, if, you get accused of something absolutely hellacious, you get accused of something absolutely hellacious by somebody, it may affect you because of the nature of what you're being accused of. You know what I mean? Jimmy Cricket said Team Crawford, man. Richard Hill said Team Spence. See, man, we all getting along now, man. We all getting along now. Ain't that beautiful? You got Errol Spence fans, you got Terence Crawford fans, all mixing in the chat, man, and not hating each other. Gotta love it, man. My man Jay Styles said, Fannon, unfortunately, people will always just go for their fighter, not based on actual fighting skills, just by popularity, which is where Bud falls short. Yeah, exactly, Jay Styles, and that's exactly what it is. He's gonna fall. He'll fall short on that particular round, man. There's Sparrow Good, man. What's going to say? What do you think of Virgil Ortiz trainer switch? I don't know that it is official, bro. Hold on one second, man. Let me get you real quick. Sparrow Good. All right, there you go. Because I know you had one of it. I know you had one. I believe you had one originally. Had a wrench originally. I don't know if it's official, man. But I think if he, I don't know. I think that if it suits him, it suits him. I think Robert Garcia is a great trainer. It's probably a little bit of a bandwagon type of thing for. So I think if he did it, it would be a little bit of a bandwagon type of thing. You know what I mean? Because at a certain point in time, bro, Eddie Reynoso's only going to have so much time to spend with you. You know what I'm saying? So, like at this point in time, bro, he's training Canelo, Andy Ruiz, Ryan Garcia. I'm sure he's got other people in the gym. At a certain point in time, man, you know, how much time does he have to dedicate to you? You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know, man, what that means for him, unless Robert Garcia doesn't really have the time for him. But it's clear that Eddie Reynoso is, you know, he's the trainer of the day, kind of like Freddie Roach was when everybody would go to Freddie Roach because Freddie Roach was the hot trainer. So I'm getting trained by Freddie Roach. He's moving into celebrity trainer status. But one thing that you know that Eddie Reynoso did is he built somebody from scratch, which other people have not done. You know, so like a lot of guys in boxing have not done. So if he went with them, I think, you know, Eddie Reynoso is obviously a very good trainer, and I'm sure he would get something out of it. You know, Omar Weaver said, even though Benavidez lacks defense, I think his power and much love in that super chat, Spur Good Marshall, and my man Omar Weaver in the building. I said, even though Benavidez lacks defense, I think his power and punch volume would make Canelo uncomfortably, especially in the later rounds. Yeah, and his size and his power, which is going to make him think. That's what I think he needs. And his power, and his overall size. I mean, and his hand speed. Like, his hand speed is bananas. If he uses a jab on Canelo, he's not going to get out of the way of that. I'm just saying straight up. If he's able to fight on the inside with Canelo, Canelo's not going to be able to get away from them shots. I think that Canelo's going to have to fight at a distance with Benavidez, because Benavidez, like, Canelo likes to come at you and swing them hooks. Man, I'm telling you, man, that hand speed on David Benavidez is bananas, bro. Bananas. 50 Band said 90% of these boxers seems like they're special education kids. Man, they take a lot of punches. But if you're talking about Rolly Romero's just an idiot, man. Like, dude, how you gonna point fingers at somebody when you are getting accused of what you're getting accused of? I mean, just simply, even if you didn't do it, you know what I'm saying? Even if you didn't do it, I would think you would have enough sense to be like, hey, man, he's accused of something. He's gonna get his court date, and we'll see whether or not he's guilty or not. But dummy Rolly, you guys act like I got to learn to pronounce that bozo's name. Rolly is gonna act like, well, yeah, you know, he needs to have his fight. I mean, what do you want him to stop? You want him to stop Tank's fight because of that too? All that means is it's justifying pulling you out of the fight. Because if you pull Tank out, then he's pulling you out. You're supposed to be like, hey, man, you know, it is what it is, and keep your mouth shut until you get off. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know, hey, man, we'll see, man. Didn't Ortiz go to Reynoso? That's what they said, but that's not been officially announced. That is what Mike Coppinger reported. That's what Mike Coppinger reported. But Virgil Ortiz came right behind him and said, look, man, he said that's not true. Virgil Ortiz told Mike Coppinger that it wasn't true, and Mike Coppinger's never retracted it. So it's still out there. I'm telling you, man, Mike Coppinger is like wild for that one, because he should have retracted it, but he didn't retract it from what I know. Damon Western, that super chat, man. Much love, man. He said, oh, good morning, bro. Team Crawford all day. That's what's up. Ain't nothing wrong with being Team Crawford, fella. Ain't nothing wrong with being Team Crawford. Spurger Marshall in the building. He said it's it's dangerous to be associated with a juice crew. Nah, not an untouchable juice crew. Not the untouchable juice crew. They're untouchable. They're untouchable. They're not, you get positive with them, you're good enough. That's the untouchable juice crew. Untouchable. If that ain't, but except people, untouchable, man. Untouchable. The untouchable juice crew. Malik Allen said, huge drop off in competition at 154. Oh, no. There's a great competition. It's just your boy cleared it out. What's going on, Swerve OS and Fannon the Truth? Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. I'm going to roll down to the super chat, man. Cat supporting. Thank you, Giovanni Walker. He said, I think Spence is coming back to get the belts at 147 and then move up to 154 because he's growing out of 147. Way too hard to make weight, man. Much love in that super chat, man. Much love in that super chat. We'll see, man. I think I will see, though, man. We'll see if that's the case. We'll definitely see if that's the case soon. But I think as soon as he's going to be there long enough to unify. And it looks like he's close. It looks like he's close to weight. Does not look like he's ridiculously overweight and all that stuff, man. Michael Kirkland in that building, man. Much love in that super chat. Thank y'all, man. Thank you guys for holding down the chat, bro. He said, if Crawford stops Porter, he should be number one. And I'm a Spence fan. 50-50 fight between them. If they did fight, to me, if he does, I agree with that. But you know, Bud fan, it's going to be a huge fight in boxing, though. Now, see, that's what I think he needs to do. He needs that Errol Spence fight. The winner of Errol Spence Jr., Terence Crawford, is the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And I think it's going to be real tough to make an argument other than that. That's what I think needs to happen for either one of those guys to get their true respect, man. Either one of those dudes. Getting the money in the fight, that's not going to do it. Because they didn't give Floyd number one pound for pound, and he was money man, way bigger money man than Canelo, and they were still jipping him. Pure discipline in the building, man. You guys are supporting, man. Thank you so much, man. He said if Ortiz goes to Reynosa, he gonna want that herbal tea to prepare for boots. It ain't no herbal tea in the world getting boots off y'all asses. I'm going to tell you right now, dog. Let me give you the stank face on that. And what's going on with my man in the building, Powerhouse Watson, say, good morning, OG. How you feeling? I'm feeling good, man. Feeling good. Got turned down for an opportunity that I wanted, man. I was like, God, dog, man. I wanted to work for somebody. Got turned down, but I was like, man, it is what it is, man. Other than that, I'm feeling good. Red Sun said, hey, what's going on, Red Sun? Got that Wu-Tang on you. Said Team Crawford, Bud by knockout. Much love in that super chat, bro. Thank you very much, man, for that support, Red Sun. Did I miss? And I want to make sure I address this super chat right here, man. Oh yeah, that's my man, Pure Discipline. He did it right. Thank you, brother. Yeah, man. If he knocks him out, it's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be if he beats Shawn. Nah, he gotta do more than beat Shawn. He's the favorite. He's the favorite, man. He said, facts for 9. That fight is pound for pound. Yeah, that's the fight that needs to happen, bro. And that's why he needs that fight. Don't stand out of the way of taking that fight. Make that fight happen. Because making that fight happen makes it. Canelo wouldn't be where Canelo was if he didn't get that Mayweather fight. Would not be there. Mayweather hooked that boy up by beat. Now, I'm going to tell you something I'm a little bit sick of. Stop celebrating Canelo Alvarez from getting his ass whooped by Floyd Mayweather and being mad when people point out that he got his behind whooped by Floyd Mayweather. I was listening to, man, I'm not going to say her name, but she never responds to my tweets. My response is to her tweet. So that means she got a little bit of hurt feelings about something. Whatever the case is, people complaining that when you guys start getting all high on the hog about Canelo, that people remind you that he lost to Floyd Mayweather Jr. Dog, that's what boxing is. If you lose, you lose. You lost. You cannot claim, you can't be, oh, yeah, but, that doesn't count. That was 7 years. Man, it don't matter. You're not getting anybody any breaks for losing, bro. Okay? Floyd Mayweather Jr. had a difficult fight with Jose Luis Castillo. You guys is pointing that crap. You guys pointed that crap out for the rest of his career. Talking about how he lost and how this and that and the other thing. And he didn't even actually lose. And it wasn't a one-sided fight. Floyd and Canelo was a one-sided fight. And you guys want to brush off a one-sided fight. It wasn't a close fight. It wasn't, ooh, if they had that fight now, oh, he may do it. Dog, he could do much better and still get blown out in that fight. The dude got dominated in that fight, man. It wasn't close, wasn't remotely close in that fight. Malachi Allen said, one PEDS equals unfair advantage forever. You know, or at least some people are going to point it out. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, Red Sun said, yes, I'm officially a Wu-Tang Killer B. Look me up. That's what's up, man. Red Sun, Wu-Tang. Hey, I play Wu-Tang every day, bro. Hold on, man. Let me see. I got to do. All right, I'll look at, okay, cool. I'll look it up. Try to see if I can get it quick, but I probably got to look a little bit more. Probably got to look a little deeper. But that's what's up, Red Sun. Shout out, my favorite rap group ever. Easy. Favorite producer, favorite rap group ever. Kamal Oz said, why hasn't Castano Jermel Tubin finalized yet? Much love in that super chat. They're probably waiting to announce it for next year's lineup. That's what I'm thinking. That they're trying to get it together for next year's lineup. So you'll probably see it. I think you'll see it I think you'll probably wind up seeing it in the second half of next year. In the first half of next year. I think that's definitely going to happen, man. That rematch, because that's a big fight, man. That Jermell Charlo will win, by the way. It's a big fight that Jermell Charlo will win. Without a doubt, bro. Oh, it said ODB, my favorite. Yeah. Very underrated ODB, man. Very underrated, man. Davison Andrade said, Fannon, why didn't Floyd give Oscar a rematch? I can't speak on it. He retired from what I remember. I think he retired for a minute after that fight. I don't know. Did Oscar De La Hoya want a rematch? I never heard that I don't recall him really pushing for a rematch. You know? Trill Savage 1 said, Canelo lost one since he was 15, though. Hard to knock that one loss to one of the GOATs. You know, that's fair enough. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's a trash fighter or anything, but at the same time, you know, it is what it is. And I thought he might have got bipped in more than one of those. But, you know, it is what it is, man. Kingston Frazier, he really lost to Marcos Maidana, won, beat Mayweather. Nah, but if you think so, I don't. No chance, man. And no chance at that. Kamal Oz said, has Joe Joyce responded to Luis Ortiz? No, and he never will. Much love in that super chat. Man, Joe Joyce don't want that smoke with Luis Ortiz, man. None of these guys want smoke with Luis Ortiz, man. That is the biggest scam. That's the biggest scam going in boxing, them not fighting Luis Ortiz. But Luis Ortiz needs to get himself to be mandatory if he can. But, you know, they're not going to fight Luis Ortiz until Luis Ortiz like 50. Once he hits like 50, then okay. Maybe you'll see that fight pop off. But not until he's 50 years old, man. Not until he's 50, because he's going to beat Joe Joyce. You know, Tyson Fury's not going to fight Luis Ortiz. I do not believe it, that he's going to fight Luis Ortiz. Would love to see that fight, though. I think that would be a very, very interesting fight. Tyson Fury versus Luis Ortiz. But he's just not in the mix, and they're not going to demand it. You know what I mean? He got his paydays. He won payday. He got his paydays against Deontay Wilder. And that's probably the best fight that dude's going to get. Any of these guys that get too good, I don't believe these UK guys are going to fight him. I don't. I think now, and on top of it, man, what's Malik Al said? Just mess with him. He lost to who? HTZ fam. Who is that? It's part of the legacy. He lost that's not for me. Deshaun Robinson for now. Why nobody talk about Madonna biting Mayweather's hand? I forgot all about that. Bro. Hey, you're putting money on Porter? I would be selective of how you do that. By decision, I would take the only bet that I'm taking. I would take on that fight is I would take Terence Crawford by decision. I'll take Terence Crawford by decision in that fight. I don't think he's going to knock him out. If he knocks him out, I'll be surprised. Very, very, very surprised. And I think, and I think it can be a close fight. I think it can be a close fight. But because I think there's just a reason that Shawn Porter didn't want that fight. I mean, or Terence Crawford didn't want that fight, man. Oh, help me wish my daughter Chrissy happy 7th. Happy birthday to Chrissy. Happy birthday, Chrissy. If y'all, hey, put some birthday cakes in the chat. Windy City Assassin. Happy to Chrissy. Happy 7th birthday. Man, that's a beautiful time in life, man. That's a beautiful time in life. Have a little 7-year-old, man. That's early in the process. My daughter's 20, about to turn 21 in January. My son is 16. My son is going to turn 16 in February. You know, time flies, man. You know what I'm saying? Time really does fly. Enjoy your children, because man, my children, it seemed like they were born yesterday and they already out. They're almost all the way out the house. You know, son, but I am going to brag. My son is playing varsity as a sophomore, so it's official. He can ball. He made varsity early. Didn't have to wait till his junior year. So he's out there. My boy's out there balling. Not even full grown, playing varsity. Trill Savage said, interesting to see. Let me go here, man. Hold on, back up. Interesting to see if Bud will beat Porter more convincingly than Spence. I feel many people are underestimating Porter. Yeah, man. People are underestimating that whole 147-pound division. The whole 147-pound division. It is a much better division than 160 and 168 and 154. Those are top notch. Those are multiple Hall of Famers up there at 147. It's in my opinion, it is absolutely positively the deepest division in boxing. Absolutely the deepest division in boxing. For my money, deepest division. But right now, nobody's giving those guys that type of credit. From what I can see. John Moore said, every one of you casual fans that don't know boxing, Floyd is the face of boxing. Look at the green belt, his face on it. That tells you all easy work. My favorite champion. Yeah, but he ain't fighting no more, man. How you gonna give him face of boxing and he's retired? I mean, if Floyd Mayweather Jr. is the face of boxing, man, I'll make the argument that Muhammad Ali's the face of boxing. There's more pictures of Ali on stuff than there is of Floyd Mayweather. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? If you can be the face of boxing when you're retired, then hey, man, Ali's the face of boxing. Seriously, man. He's the one with trophies. He's got trophies. That is the number one name in boxing, is Muhammad Ali. Without a doubt. He's got a bigger name than Floyd Mayweather Jr. does. Floyd made more money, but that name is bigger, bro. Oh, basketball or football? Basketball. Basketball. Yeah, my wife would not let my son play football. We ixnayed that very early in life, man. We're like, no. Nah, I'm not watching there. I'm not sitting there waiting for some craziness to happen. Christopher Lewis said, Fannon, wish my son Adrian a happy 4th birthday. Happy birthday, Adrian. Happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday. I don't know, man. Oh, Darren Williams? You're not talking about Derek Williams. You're talking about Darren Williams. What do you think about homie Darren Williams boxing dude from the NFL? Dude from the NFL or the NBA? You talking about Darren Williams? Darren Williams, an NBA player that's going to be fighting on the undercard of that trash. And I don't think much of it, man. Even though I will tell you, Darren Williams is a way better basketball player than I thought he was when I first saw him play. Because he was a point guard for Illinois. And I was like, wow, man, I had no idea that he was that good when he got to the pros. He wound up being good, for Illinois and getting through the tournament, getting far through the tournament. But he's a really good athlete, man. But he's gonna get. I don't really care, man. I mean, when boxing, I want to see real fighters. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Hey, Wendy City said, thanks for nodding, family. She has a big smile. Y'all made her day. That's what's up. That's good, man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. John Moore, Floyd is the face of boxing. Look at the green belt. Dude, Ali's face is on that. John? Muhammad Ali's face is on that WBC belt. It is. Okay? just telling you. His face is on there too. There's Joe Lewis's face is on that belt, if I recall correctly. Mauricio, hey, watch this. What's Mauricio Sulaiman's father's name? What do you guys remember what Mauricio Sulaiman's father's name is? I don't. But the guy before him, his face is on that too. So I don't know, bro. I don't know if having your face on the green belt makes that. Man, Ride a Prophet, man. Steady supporting, bro. Thank you. Said, blessings, King. I got here late. Are the trolls causing trouble again? Nah. No doubt, bro. Nah, man. Not too bad today, man. Not too bad today. They trying to stay away from David Wester in that super chat, bro. Thank you so much, man. Much love in that super chat. He said if Bud didn't want the fight, he would have dropped the belt like Loma and Canelo did. Porter was mandatory since 2020 and he never activated. Thank God he gets to make y'all push back that goalpost. Look, man, he could have taken that fight voluntarily. He could have taken that fight voluntarily, man. He could have. Yeah, Rich can't get you out of here. He could have taken it. He could have taken it voluntarily. You know what I'm saying? He could have taken it voluntarily. He could have taken it voluntarily. He did not have to be forced. He did not have to be forced into taking that fight, man. He didn't have to be, but he was. So, but at the same time, Tyson Fury had to be forced to fight Deontay Wilder. So, it doesn't say everything, but it is a little funny though. He could have, because Shawn Porter said he wanted to fight him. He's like, nah, I don't want to fight you. I want to fight Errol Spence and I want to fight Keith Thurman. Come on, I was in that super chat, man. Thank you, brother, man. Thank y'all so much. He said Canelo's fans got nothing for why he ducked Boo Boo for undisputed at middleweight. Good fighter who chooses his opponents carefully. Never cleared out of division. Nah, he never did. Because he ain't cleared out 140. You say he's undisputed. Does that make you clear out of division? If you have all the belts? That's the only argument you can make. Was he undisputed? But he's got to fight David Benavidez. We'll see, man. Who else likes Jake Paul? I don't think you're going to find a lot of... I don't know, man. Why would I like Jake Paul, man? Jake Paul can definitely go away, bro. I'm just saying. Jake Paul can definitely kick rocks. Like, that's not a competitive fighter, man. I really wish that I could get away with acting like I liked Jake Paul. But I can't, man. It's not, it's kind of, he's an insult to these fighters, man. And there's no real fans of him, boxing fans of him. There are fans of him, but they're not boxing fans of him. It's kind of like a sport that sits outside of it. And, it's really hard for me to comment on. It's really hard for me to get any type of feel for it because I'm not 18. If I was 18, 22 years old, and I was like, into it, or I guess, maybe like, if it was like, something like that, maybe, but I really can't get into it, honestly. Not a bad guy. I see what he's doing, but the whole act to me is kind of, it's just kind of trash to me, and I'm not interested in it. Not much more so than, not much less though than I was interested in Rolly Romero, to tell you the truth. At a certain point in time, guys that just act obnoxious all the time, that's not my style. That's not my cup of tea. Some people like people that are obnoxious and really laugh at it, enjoy the whole buffoonery. I don't. I've never been a fan of buffoonery. More of a serious guy. You know what I mean? Pure Discipline said, Fannon, how do you feel about Jake Paul promoting Amanda Serrano? I'm neutral on it. Kind of neutral on it. I'm glad for her, but I'm not going to watch. I'm not paying for that fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like it for her because I like Amanda Serrano. I think Amanda Serrano is a very, very good fighter, and I'm glad she's getting her money. I'm glad all that stuff is working out for her, but she's one fighter, and I won't see those fights. I'm not gonna get baited right into paying for a Jake Paul fight just so I can see Amanda Serrano. So that's what I think of it. But I like Amanda Serrano a lot. Just like they've done that on several fights. They've had guys like, I think Regis Prograis fought on one of the undercards for him. You know what I mean? I'm not interested in that. Not interested in it personally. I wish I could be, man. I wish I could be, because I like a good night, and if I could get some interest out of it, You know, I could. But when he fights him, first of all, I personally don't know. I personally do not know those MMA guys. So even when people say, oh, he's fighting Anderson Silva, I know who Anderson Silva is because I've heard his name before, but I promise you I've never seen an Anderson Silva fight, man. Usman, I've never seen an Usman fight. I've seen a Conor McGregor fight. The only MMA person that I've ever really watched has been Amanda Nunes. That's it. And I'm so on watching her fights. I watched her fight. I made sure I watched her fight. What's that lady's name, man? Cyborg. I made sure I watched her fight Cyborg. But other than that, man, I've never really been interested in it. So I'm sorry, man. I wish I could be. And I don't mind, and no insult to people that are into that. It's just that that's not me. Trill Savage said the Paul brothers have a no knockout clause in their contract, I heard. Yeah, and I wouldn't doubt it because it's not real. That is clearly fake. It's clearly fake. There's no way Jake Paul is going to get beat. Because if Jake Paul gets beat, or maybe to sell a rematch, they'll do it. But it's WWE stuff. I don't believe it. I think they're really punching. You know what I mean? John Moore said, I want to get my credit card. I'll support the channel. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. Is Regis even asking for a rematch with Taylor? He's not going to get it. I don't think he's interested in it because he's not going to get it. Yeah, Amanda Nunes. I like her, man. She's a great fighter. I'll watch somebody I think is a great fighter. I watch Amanda Nunes because she knocked out. Because I watched Amanda Nunes because I saw her fight Ronda Rousey. Then she beat Holly Holmes. So for the last one, I was like, man, let me watch her fight. Let me watch her fight that one. But it's hard for me to watch it. But you know, it's just because, dude, I'm into boxing. I'm into boxing. I'm into boxing. That's all I can say. I'm a boxing fan, bro. I don't watch a lot of football either. I don't watch a lot of basketball. Not that I got an issue with. I certainly don't have an issue with basketball. But I'm just saying I'm not really that into boxing. I'm not really that into basketball. It doesn't really float my boat like that. You know. Powerhouse. The Paul brothers are WWE in boxing. Yeah, that's what that is. It's WWE. So. It's the only interesting thing about the fight is the lead into it, right? And what do he say? He's going to put in the contract that, you got to say your name is Tommy Fumbles or something like that. And what's his name? Tyrone Woodley needed to get a tattoo on his hand, and he got it on his middle finger, right? That type of stuff, bro. You know what I mean? Just that doesn't float my boat. But if it floats your boat, cool. I'm really into boxing. I'd rather watch guys like somebody just asked me what I think about Gary Antoine Russell. And I think highly of Gary Antoine Russell. And I can't wait for him to get into a major fight. I know that Gary Antonio Russell is fighting I think he's fighting in November. I think he's fighting in 3 weeks, Gary Antonio Russell. So I'm really looking forward to that. But, as far as all that other stuff, man, it just not really. It's really not it really doesn't really do that much for me. Put it that way, bro. Side of the Rule said Floyd Mayweather is still selling more pay-per-views than the current fighters is why he's saying that. Who are you talking about? Me? Or that he's the face of boxing? PBC is trying to WWE, UFC boxing. It ain't working though. I mean, hey, look, dude, Showtime's doing that. Showtime is featuring those guys. And hey, man, if that's and they're in combat sports, no problem with Showtime making money. But I like how they talk about it. They don't really talk about it like Steven Espinoza doesn't really talk about it like it's a serious boxing match. So I can respect that. He's making his money. He's making sure that he's getting people to watch shows on his network. So they found a nice little niche with that. And and they're trying to run through that door. So, more power to them. It's just not something that I'm particularly interested in. And I don't have an issue with anybody else being interested in it because like I said, whatever floats your boats. You know what I'm saying? Classy Mag says, salute, noob. Salute to you, brother. How you doing this morning, man? Hey, by the way, we ain't got a lot of people in the chat today. So we only got 300, man. So hit them like button, man. We got 120 likes, man. 300 people in the building, man. Hit the like button, man. Darren Williams had a few great years in the NBA. Yeah, he was very, very good, man, until, I don't know, injuries stopped him, something. He got that big contract is what happened. You know what I mean? Curtis Sewell said, what weight classes are Gary Antoine Russell and Gary Antonio Russell in? Gary Antoine Russell's at 118 and Gary Antoine Russell is at 140. And Gary Antonio Russell is at 118. Gary Antoine Russell is the bigger one. Gary Antonio Russell is the small one. So they got Russells at 118, 126, and 140. That family spans a nice group, man. But ask some questions away from that UFC stuff, man, because that stuff's not real, bro, to me. Terrell W. said, Gary Russell should move up and fight Shakur. He'll never get that fight. That's not working. Much love in that super chat. It's funny though, man. It's funny though, Terrell. I was reading, all these dudes would come by the chat from the UK guys would come by the chat about this guy named Kid Galahad and saying, oh, Kid Galahad is calling out Gary Russell Jr. Kid Galahad Gary Russell Jr. is ducking Kid Galahad. As soon as Kid Galahad gets the IBF belt, Kid Galahad does not mention Gary Russell's name. As soon as he gets to that, as soon as he got that IBF belt, bro, I'm telling you, those guys do not want no smoke, bro. Giovanni Walker said, I got $10 in super chat money that Crawford stopped Porter in the 11th round. Push that like button. Yeah, man, hit that like button, man. In the 11th round, that's a good, you know what, though, Giovanni? That is a very good round to pick it, though. That is a very, very good round to pick it, though. I can't see it, bro. But that is where he got dropped. Around that time is where he got dropped, man. That's around the same time that he got dropped by. That's around the same time he got around the same time he got dropped by Adrian Bronner, and when he got dropped by Errol Spence Jr. So if there's a witching hour for Shawn Porter, there you go. right around that time. That's not a bad bet, man. Actually, that's a pretty decent bet. I'm impressed by that one. Malik Allen said that's a good KO round. Yeah, man. I'm actually pretty impressed by that. I don't think it's going to happen because he got up, but he did get decked. He did get decked by those guys. I don't really know though if does he have any more power than Adrian Bronner? Because Adrian Bronner can crack, bro. Nate Sadman said, yo, you Errol gonna be the same. He talking like he is though. I don't know what you mean. You think Errol going to be the same? He talking about like he is, though? Yeah, I think he's going to be the same. It's an eye injury, bro. It ain't nothing else. He's going to fight the same way unless, that's just whether or not the eye injury is not going to prevent him from fighting. So, yes, I think Errol Spence Jr. is going to be the same fighter. I think maybe over the long haul, Errol Spence Jr. is going to be a little beat up. I think he's a little beat up over the long haul, but I don't think that he's going to be beat up over the short run. I don't think. You know what I mean? I think that's more over the long haul type of situation. Powerhouse Watson say, you think Porter would rematch Thurman if he beats Bud, or is he going to fight Spence? He's going to go for Spence without a doubt. Right straight to him. If he does that. I honestly, man, the winner is going to go for Errol Spence, should go for Errol Spence Jr., and Errol Spence Jr. should go for the winner of it because of what the WBA did. The WBA already messed up already said, nah, we're not interested in that, bro. We're not interested in having a 3-belt unification fight. We want to have we want our secondary champ to fight the guy. Like, man, all this time, bro, hey, by the way, something they would never do to Canelo Alvarez. Never, ever would they do that to Canelo Alvarez. That is and somebody can say, what do you say, man? Alan McClain said, thanks for the reply a few days ago. You're a gentleman. Thanks for now. Hey, man, my pleasure, man. Absolutely, man. I try my best to respond to people. That's why I said, if you're talking about it in the comment section, yeah, and by the way, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Most of you guys are more than likely subscribed to the channel, but if you not subscribe to the channel. Yeah, absolutely, I do. I try to get into the comment section and respond to comments, but it's just like it gets so toxic. It gets so toxic sometimes, bro, that it's like, I can't do it as much as I want to because I got to protect my mind. I can't swim too much in that cesspool called the comment section of anywhere. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I can't swim in that cesspool called the comment section too often. But I really do try. That's why I always say come to the live streams. Because this is where you get to really interact with people on a regular basis. Because you got wrenches to get people out of there that want to ruin everybody's day. Because they had a bad day. F-Band said, I honestly want Crawford to lose so he will be desperate and fight the other PBC for 147 pounders. Man, if he loses, what? You want him to lose just so he'll fight other guys? If he ain't desperate now, man, he ain't going to be desperate. He about to get a decent payday. Put a 1 in the chat if you're going to buy the pay-per-view though. I'm interested in knowing that. Are you guys going to pay, put your money where your mouth is. Are you going to actually pay for this pay-per-view with Shawn Porter versus Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford? I'm wondering if people are going to actually pay for that fight. Or are you guys going to do them dirty? Put a 1 in the chat. Okay, you guys going to do it. Pure Discipline said, definitely watching that pay-per-view. Okay, man, so we got it. All right, look, man, it's got a lot of 1s, man. 50 Bands, I got fire sticks, so hell no. That man said, I already did for you. What's that for 9? What's that, man? He said, I got 500 with BFTB on Crawford. What you got on Crawford? He said, I'm streaming to support black business. Hey, man, ESPN is not a black business. ESPN and Top Rank are not black businesses, man. But y'all going to really support, man, y'all need to buy that. Please buy the fight. That's what I'm saying, like, please buy the fight, man. He said 550 bands free on me. Hey, on that fire stick trip, though, hit me on the Instagram, man. I need to know about that fire stick. I need to know about that fire stick, brother. I need to know about that fire stick. No lie, dog. No lie, man. My money funny in the mug, man. I need it, dog. I need it. D'Avion Bible said, why is it that Gary can't get the Tank fight? All the trash talk that Gary has about Floyd, you think he'd tell Tank to shut him up? Because he does not want Tank to lose. Much love in that super chat, bro. Oh, 55. Oh, said BFTB said if Porter fight aggressive, he gonna win. That's what BFTB said. Hey, man, it's a good fight. I respect BFTB's opinion on that. BFTB knows boxing. BFTB knows boxing. If he said it, hey, man, he's got a good reason for believing it. No doubt about it, bro. I don't show up on BFTB's channel a lot. I watch at least a little bit of BFTB every day, man. At least I got to get a little BFTB every day. Every day I got to give him that view. Every day. No doubt. Never miss it. Never miss it. Always get that man that view. But thank you guys so much for the support in the super chat, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, Richard Hill said that fire stick is legit, Noob. All right, I got to get that fire stick then. I need to get the fire stick. Damian Wester said Gary needs to be forced to fight somebody. Look, man, nobody wants that smoke with Gary Russell Jr. Nobody wants that smoke with Gary Russell Jr. I'm telling you, it ain't no different. It ain't no different than what was going on with Deontay Wilder. Ain't no different than what was going on with Guillermo Rigondeaux. Ain't no difference. When everybody passes through a weight class and nobody calls him out ever, and they just go through the weight class like he's not there, when have you ever heard somebody call out Gary Russell Jr.? And I mean it. Somebody put it in the chat. Somebody. There was a champion at 126 that said they wanted Gary Russell Jr. I will wait all day before you give me the name of that guy. You have not seen it. You have not seen it. Nobody wants to fight him, man. Ever. And it is consistent. And it is completely and utterly consistent that nobody wants to fight that guy. And I ain't never changing my name. Quincy Carter said Lomachenko won. That's before he got a belt, though. Much love in that super chat, and that's before he got a belt. That was for a vacant belt. Lomachenko was ordered for that. That fight was ordered by the WBO. But that was a good but that was Lomachenko. Lomachenko's that man, dog. Nobody want that smoke with Lomachenko right now either. Oh, no, nobody want no Lomo smoke. Nobody. Except Shakur Stevenson said he'll fight Lomachenko. But nobody wants that Lomachenko smoke either. And all of a sudden, nowhere near the top pound for pound guy anymore because he lost. Loma didn't want that smoke. Loma wanted that smoke because it was a mandatory, because he had no choice. Cashman said, I got Block TV and it works good. Yeah, man, I might have to dip on to one of those, man. Kevin Faulkner said, a message board feeling Canelo light today. We about to have some real boxing discussions. Oh, yeah, you know how it is. Yeah, you know how it is, bro. It is. We ain't got all them trolls. Around 300, 350, it's you got people that are in the channel. You know what that is. Yeah, that's what it is. Loma versus Comey. Man, that's going to be a wash, though. That's a wash. Lomachenko going to wash Comey. Wash him. Not a competitive fight, man. Not a competitive fight. Terrell W said Gary Russell will retire at super featherweight. Yeah, I think he will be. I think at featherweight, I think he'll retire at featherweight. I don't know if he'll ever move to super featherweight. I don't know if he'll ever go to super featherweight. I don't know if he'll ever go to 130. I think he may retire. I think he may retire at 126 in about 8 years. You know what I'm saying? And get all his fights off one at a time, bro. I think he'll get them all one at a time, man. Raining Fire said Teofimo is running. He canceled his last fight 3 times, and the last was because he had COVID symptoms, and then he was at Canelo fight and it wearing a mask. Yeah, man. Look, dude, I don't care. I don't even care about that fight, man. Bring on Devin Haney. Bring on Devin Haney, man. Get that fight. That's the fight that I care about for Teofimo. I'd love to see the Lomachenko rematch, but that fight, Teofimo Lopez would lose that. So that fight's not going to happen because Teofimo Lopez is going to lose that rematch. And that's one of the times I'm going to tell you. That's like what's a fight where a guy gets, he didn't get lucky. But man, bro, I'm telling you, I don't believe it twice. You know what I'm saying? There you go. That's like a tennis match for me. Like, it's like a guy beat Roger Federer, and I'm like, yeah, you won it that day. But the next time Roger Federer plays you, you're gonna get mopped. That's what I think that is. I think it's one of them scenarios like, yeah, like maybe like an Ali Spinks. Like, yeah, you caught him slipping. And so he came back the next fight. He was old and you caught him slipping. And then he comes back and then he does what he needs to do and makes that adjustment and gets you in the next fight. That's what I think is going to happen with Teofimo Lopez and Vasily Lomachenko. And I think Teofimo Lopez people think that could be true. And they are really trying to capitalize on that win, man. That was some tacky shit he did. That was some tacky stuff they did with that what was it? You know what was that thing, man? He did posing next to Canelo Alvarez. Like, man, will you sit down? Like, dude, it's like he won. How did he even bring all his belts? I mean, that's what I'm saying. He's phony. Teofimo Lopez is phony. How would you even have all your belts with you? Why would you have all your belts with you? Like, that is planned out. Like, yeah, I'm going to jump up here. It's going to be a lot of people. Me too. Man, will you sit your Me Too moment ass down? Okay? Set your Me Too ass down. Seriously. Behind down. Stop cussing. What's up, mama? Love my mama. Fake undisputed. I say the dude's really, man, dude, he call him undisputed. I wish he had enough, would defend that. Deborah Booker in the building. Thank you for the support, Deborah. Thank you. Thanks for the support, Deborah. I'm telling you right now, thank you. That means a lot, man. Hey, Devin Haney got the real belts anyway. Look, man. All them suspect in the WBC. They all are. All of them. You might as well say they ain't no WBC champion. Because they're all cap. How about that? I'm starting to use the words, man. They all cap. In my opinion. Until they fight. They all bumping around. Especially Teofimo Lopez. Devin has an email belt. Nah, he don't. He got the real belt. He's got the real belt. He's the WBC champion. And if Teofimo Lopez moves up, he'll be the only WBC champion. It's just they got that franchise sitting on his head. However, we'll see with Devin. Knock on wood, he knocks out Jojo Diaz. Knock on wood that he knocks out Jojo Diaz. Ain't no half stepping in that fight, man. He needs a knockout. And on my book, he needs a knockout. Trill Savage said Haney is the recognized WBC champion. Trill, no, he's not. Teofimo Lopez is the recognized WBC champion. That's what Mauricio Suleiman said. Mauricio Suleiman said that that Teofimo Lopez is the WBC champion and that he is the undisputed champion. That's what Mauricio Suleiman from the WBC said. It's his belt. You know what I'm saying? If I have a Fannon champion, I get to name who's champion. If y'all are dumb enough to let me have 6 champions, you know what I mean, and pay me, if 6 people are all dumb enough to me to pay me money to call him champion, then I'm the one that gets to call him champion, and that's what the WBC says. But obviously, you know, I don't have to respect that. I don't have to respect that. And that's why I say, nah, man, he's not undisputed champion because Devin Haney has a dispute. He says that he's the champion. He has the same belt that Tyson Fury has, the same belt that Tyson Fury has. That's a dispute, right? That's a disputed. He's the disputed WBC champion because Devin Haney's saying, no, I'm the champion because I have the same belt as everybody else. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just garbage. It's just garbage right there. Flat out, unadulterated trash. And that's all you get. And that's what it is. It's trash. What I'm disappointed in is that there's not more excitement for this Shawn Porter Terence Crawford fight. God dog, that's a good fight, bro. Man, it's a good fight, man. And I don't think it's getting the credit it deserves, man. He Who Greets with Fire said Devin Haney is listed as a WBC champion in the website at lightweight. WBC. Let's look. WBC champions. Where is the WBC? WBC champions and ratings. Let's go to it. We're going to the champions, right? Where are the champions? Where the champions at on this? Man, they got a crew. Man, get out of here. Where's it at? If they got him there, they do got him there. They got him there, listed at the top. And then what else they got? They don't have him listed there. That's good. Okay, so I guess he's a champion according to this website because they don't up. There you go, franchise champion, Teofimo Lopez. Let's see what BoxRec got. That's just nastiness, bro. Hey, man, look, we got 300 people in the building, man. We don't even got 200 likes, man. Come on, man, get the likes up, man. Y'all robbing me, man. Y'all are robbing me, man. Go ahead and get the likes up, please. Yep. Hey, good catch there, brother. I saw it. I went to the weight classes. I saw it. It's right there. It says Devin Haney is the champion, and it has no picture of Teofimo Lopez. It says the franchise champion. So there you go, I guess. But you asked Mauricio Suleiman out of his mouth. He says that's the champion. It's stupid. Cornelius Burnett, what's going on, man? Trill Savage said, I heard an interview, I forgot who. Haney was the recognized WBC champion, but it's all nonsense. They got 2 champions. They need to fight ASAP. That's pretty much what it comes down to, man. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Maxie Rosenblum. What is Maxie Rosenblum? Ain't Maxie Rosenblum like a gangster or something? He said, I thought on these channels claiming Canelo was surpassing Mayweather and Pacquiao. Of course Manny Pacquiao says he's going to fight next week, then Manny Pacquiao will be the greatest fighter of this century. This week it's Canelo. It's never Floyd. You never hear any of these guys saying Floyd is the greatest of this century, which is absolutely stupid because he's the guy that's got the best argument for it. And on the real, for me, Andre Ward is better than Canelo. A better fighter. But it is what it is, man. You make that money, they're going to sell it. And he's very well known. He makes a lot of money, so they're going to sell it. Sold. You know what I mean? He who greets with fire said, do you think Bob is the one blocking the fight? He told Dev he signed with the wrong promoter. Yeah, I do. But no, I don't. I think Bob Arum doesn't want the fight, and I don't think Teofimo Lopez wants to fight either. Neither one of them want that fight. And I do believe Devin Haney signed with the wrong promoter. I agree with everything you just said. I agree with the whole thing. Devin Haney got JoJo Diaz because that's a DAZN fighter. Thank you for the person that corrected me the other day. Man, get the likes over 300, man. Y'all doing me real wrong, bro. Come on, man. Hello, no. Where'd he go? Don't take that out of there. Hello, anti-Mexican racist YouTube channel. Y'all sure AF, bro. Dude, you guys are some scumbags, man. Hello, scumbag dude that probably ain't Mexican. Hello, bullshitter that is probably not even Mexican. I owe Mikey Garcia an apology. Mikey Garcia had to select white on his deal because that's the only options Mexicans get. Is to say they're white in the census, which tells me something huge. There are a lot less white people than they are saying there are. I did not know that. I thought the whole time I thought that Mexicans put indigenous. I thought they were indigenous. I thought you guys would put indigenous with an ethnicity of Hispanic. Because that's what I thought y'all were. I thought it was indigenous with a Hispanic indigenous. Because that's the most accurate. Hispanic indigenous. But because you guys are indigenous. For the most part, indigenous, speaking the Spanish name. So anyway, I owe him an apology. And thank you to my brother. Thank you to everybody that pointed that out. I wanted to do it in a live stream just in case you're listening and let you know. My bad. I did not know that, and I won't say that again. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? None of them are Caucasian, New Light 76. None of them. Okay? None of them are Caucasian, bro. Dude, Caucasians are a group of Eastern Europeans that live in the Caucasus Mountains. None of these people are Caucasian, bro. Like, none of them. The Irish are not Caucasian. The British are not Caucasian. They're not. Italians are not Caucasian. Caucasians are Caucasians. It's like everybody running around saying they're French. Like, oh, I'm French. Are you from France? No. Where are you from? Belgium. Why are you saying you're French then? Dude, they're not Caucasian, bro. Seriously, that's why they get rid of that word, bro. They're not Caucasian. Caucasians are Caucasians. Because Caucasians are a specific group of people called Caucasians. It's just silly, man. But anyway, man. Mikey is white. Canelo is Irish. Caleb is black. Yeah, it's like y'all confusing everybody, man. Hit the like button and share the goddamn video, man. Hook me up, man. Hook me up, bro. He said, Chechens are from the Caucasus Mountains. There you go. The Chechens, those are Caucasians. Whoever's from the mountains, those are Caucasians. It's irritating, bro. We say that in the United States, not. We're not black either. No, we're brown. I got that. I'm very, very brown. However, we're talking When you're talking about Americans and black Americans, I'm black all day, baby. He said, "Oh, they are from Dagestan." Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. This man said, "Ibn Norm Gamadov is caucus." There you go. See, told you. People be knowing it, bro. People be knowing it. Boxing fan USPR said, "One thing for sure, there is no racist on the real supporters of this channel, and much less from the Captain Fannon." Yeah, man, I am not a racist at all, dude. Not at all, bro. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Not a hair on my body. I'm telling you. I spend a whole bunch of time listening to these conservatives and agreeing with half of what they say. Then I listen to these guys that are liberal and I agree with half of what they say. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and dude, I ain't got nothing against nobody, man. I really do not. Never do. But I'm not going to kiss your ass. And you guys can take that. I'm not going to, oh, Canelo. Yeah, man, oh, Canelo. Man, Canelo's a great fighter, man. Now let me see him fight. Caleb, let me see him fight. You know what I'm saying? Let me see him fight. Broderick said, after Loma's loss, there are no current white fighters to make the great white hope. So any good non-black fighter will do. They're thirsty AF. Nah, they got Tyson Fury. They've got, who else they got? Josh Taylor, Tyson Fury. Yeah, those two. They got him. Lomachenko a monster though, bro. No doubt, man. Elias Adamik said that the area in Russia, Mahazkala is Caucasus. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you on educating everybody, man. Yeah, Usyk a beast though. I like some Usyk. Michael Kirkland, this channel is not full of D writers. We make our own judgment on fighters. Exactly. Pretty much, man. Judge how you want to judge it, man. But let's talk boxing and love and get these cats their respect, bro. Oh, Jake Paul, man, he's terrible, bro. Why is this channel always going into race? This is a boxing channel, correct? Hey, Rain Fighting. If you come to the chat, matter of fact, just goodbye. No, I'm not going to throw you out. If somebody mentions something, I'm going to talk about it, man. You just brought it up. Anyway, yeah, you got to get out of here, Rain Fighting, bro. Get out of here. I get sick of you complaining. Man, go away, bro. Somebody brings it up, I'll bring it up. I'll talk about it. Anyway, goodbye. It was nice knowing you, bro. You're not worth having here. My man, Fannon, just wants good fights. What the heck is wrong with that? If you're a boxing fan, you will support and recognize real. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, Rain Fighting, goodbye. It was nice seeing you, though. Fannon, Mr. De La Cruz said, Fannon, keep doing the great work. Best boxing show on YouTube. That's from a Mexican-American U.S. Thank you, Mr. De La Cruz. I appreciate that, man. And again, I did not know you guys had to select. Oh, that's why I brought it up. Rain Fighting, because I owed an apology to Mikey Garcia. I had fun with Mikey Garcia because he checked white on some document that got put up that he put up as a doctor's excuse for why he lost to Errol Spence Jr. So I was just joking. I was like, man, what? Because I thought maybe he was an Uncle Juan or something. I had to apologize for that because cats came to my Twitter and was like, look, man. First of all, dude's like, look, dumbass. He said, look, dumbass. That's the only thing we get to select. So don't you know that? And I was like, man, I'm not Mexican. How would I know that? So I apologized about it. I apologized. If I put something out on Twitter or if I put something out in a video and it's wrong, I will apologize for it because I think that's what is right to do. You know what I mean? I don't want to have it hanging out there and thinking I'm not going to let just something wrong hang out there. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. It's the other box. Hey, man, y'all should be checking indigenous. You're like, nah, I'm indigenous. Hispanic ethnicity. Because that's what you are, indigenous. They say that it's only like the people with tribes and all that. If you're Aztec, why wouldn't you say indigenous? Isn't that, what's the Mexicans? Aztec? If they're Aztec, that's indigenous. Aztecs are indigenous people. Really. You're not, you got some European in you, but you got it, you're indigenous. But anyway, I don't care. It is what it is, man. Y'all got to do what you got to do. That's your life. Erica B said, Fannon, you're one of my faves. Nothing wrong with how you do your thing. You talk race sometimes and boxing all the time. I love it. Thank you, Erica. And I'm going to go on that. Thank you. Because I like anytime a lady is in the chat. Deborah said, Fannon, we know you're not racist because the guy who made the comment is. Yeah, you know what it is. It is not indigenous. I don't know. That's what I thought. Aztecs are indigenous to the area. Black people, indigenous, bro. Yeah, indigenous to everywhere, bro. You get my... When they classify that indigenous, they're talking about a certain people. I'm not arguing about whether or not black people were here. All I'm saying is there's a group of people, Mayan, thank you very much. There's a group of people that on that census are referred to as indigenous people. Texas used to be Mexico. So I would think that would be indigenous. Arizona used to be Mexico. I think California used to be Mexico. I would think that would be indigenous. But that's just my opinion. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. You guys do what you want to do, bro. You know what I'm saying? You do what you want to do. I'm not going to, I'm definitely not going to be mad at you at all because I select black. And that's what it is. And people say, do you not want to do it? I select it anyway, even if I got an opportunity not to. Curtis Sewell said, what do they mean? It's the only thing they get to check. There's more options than black and white. Hey, man, that's what they say. That's what I'm going with. I don't know. That's what they said. That's what I go with. If that is a common experience to Mexicans, that's a common experience to Mexicans. It seemed to me that the people that told me that didn't have any problem with the fact that they were Mexican. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, dude, do you not think Mikey Garcia knows that he's Mexican? He knows that he don't look nothing like no white guy. So give him the benefit of the doubt. So anyway, I thought to myself, there ain't even no need to give him the benefit of the doubt. It's not my business. It's a joke I probably shouldn't have told. You know what I mean? I think I was out of place for even saying it. Should have left it alone, You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I don't care. You got to go talk to Mexicans about that. I'm not doing it. I'm not criticizing them for that. If they got to do that for whatever reason they got to do it, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. That's them. I deal with black people. I know black people problems. I don't know Mexican people problems. So y'all do Mexican people problems. Anyway, so let's drop that talk for a second and hit the like button, man. And hit the like button, bro. Hit the like button. Much love. Hey, man, come on, man. We got 300 people in the building. Can we get the 300 likes, man? Renee Box Young in the building. What's going on? Renee Box Young in the building. Tio said, oh, yeah, he who agrees to fire. Tio crying for attention. Man, Tio is a lame. Tiafimo is lame for that, man. No doubt, man. OJ. Yeah, my dad could not stand. Black Italian, natives are not Mongols. Different DNA application do you have a Latino section? Dude, it's an ethnicity so that black folk can say Hispanic. But you know what that means though, right? That means those Dominicans are putting white too. Those Dominicans are putting white too. If there's no Dominican. If there's no Dominican, that means them Dominicans putting white too. But it is what it is. I don't care, man. So what? It's not that big a deal to me. Damon Wester said, can't wait till Bud Porter morning to get them butterflies. Still think this is a great fight. 50-50 fight. Yeah, man, I'm on that 50-50 tip. But the closer I get to the fight, the more I'm more like Terence Crawford, bro. The longer I get to it, the more I start feeling like that's the case. Hey, thanks, Mr. De La Cruz. I appreciate you, man. Like I said, I ain't trying to get in your business. Seriously, I'm not. I'm not. I don't have that's just not my business in that regard. Deborah Booker said they can check whatever they want till they get stopped by the cop. Exactly. It'll be exactly. That's my saying. They're like, dog, they know. You know what I'm saying? They ain't getting people out them strawberry patches. You know what I'm saying? It's not getting people out of strawberry patches. CG Cap said, I can't wait till next Saturday. Definitely will be in the building for that fight. Oh, you going to the fight? Dang, I wish I could go to that fight, man. I really wish I could be ringside for that fight, man. Ron Miller said, I almost started to vouch for Kambosos to beat T.O., don't do that. Don't do that, man. Teofimo Lopez is a better fighter than that, bro. But if he has a difficulty with it, I'm telling you, I will be laughing. I will be laughing. I don't see it happen, but I'll be laughing all day. Giovanni Walker said, Andre Ward is only 36. That's the same age Floyd Mayweather when he beat Canelo at 23. Yeah, it is, man. But he's been retired for 4 years. He ain't coming out. He's injured, man. He's like, man, look, man, I'm injured. He's not had shoulder surgeries. Floyd Mayweather never had shoulder surgeries or the type of injuries that Andre Ward had. So, Andre Ward may just be more beat up. And honestly, I think Andre Ward, to tell you the truth, I think Andre Ward values his health and is not going to risk his health. I think he's like, look, man, I got my money. I'm still very clear-headed. He doesn't slur. He doesn't have any of those issues. And once he got that money and he got that job, he's like, look, man, it ain't worth it. It's not worth it to me. So if it's not worth it to him, that makes a lot of sense. Because a lot of these fighters, when they get done, man, are done. You know what I mean? When they get done, they're just hurting after they get done with boxing when they get to 60 fights and all of that. And he took a shot. He took shots from Kovalev, got dropped by Kovalev. He got concussions up in that ring. Floyd Mayweather Jr. ain't never had to fight a dude that big that hit him that hard, except for obviously when he got concussed against Shane Mosley. You know what I mean? So, but I respect him what he's gonna do, man. Andre Ward doesn't owe anything to anybody, in my opinion. I don't think he owes anybody anything in the sport of boxing. He's done everything that could have possibly been asked of that man. Jeremiah said, T.O.'s first title shot, 15th fight. Non-black fighters get title shots in less fights. Prove me wrong. Shakur Stevenson. I think Shakur Stevenson got a title fight as quickly. Let me see. I don't think that is, and Anthony Joshua dang sure got one in his 16th fight. So hold on. Let me see how quick Shakur was. Pretty sure Shakur Stevenson was like in his 16th fight. 15th, 16th fight when he won the WBO. But I'm going to double check. I'll double check it. Make sure we on. Yeah, dang right. He only got 17 fighting. He's a 2-division champion. He got it way quicker than that, bro. Hold on, actually. Vacant WBO against Joet Gonzalez. He might have been 14 fights. Man, he was 12 fights when he won that vacant BO belt. 12. Man, somebody showing love in the chat, bro. Thank you so much, man. Let me back up. CVP Jr., bro. Thank you for holding down the chat, man. It said, Porter Crawford is my favorite match of the year. Crawford Porter is my most favorite match of this year. Salute. Appreciate the content, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you for support, man. Means a lot, man. Maxie Rosenblum, Canelo has surpassed Marquez, Barrera, and Morales. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's fair that he has. I don't think he has a better win than Marquez, though. I don't think he has a bigger win than Marquez. And I don't think he's had a bigger win and a bigger fight than Morales Morera. But nah, so, in a certain way, yeah, he's a much bigger fighter. He's a much bigger name than those guys. But I have to be, and I'm not really an expert on Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., but, Canelo's a big fighter, bro. Canelo's a big fighter, and he's an excellent fighter and deserves a lot of credit. But you know what it is. He needed to fight some of these other guys moving forward. He still has the obligation to fight these guys if he's going to be a champion. Fahim said Fannon, it's not the fights, it's the training camps that do the most damage. Thank you, man. There you go. He said, well, there you go. He's gotten, so I don't have any problem with Andre Ward retiring. He said, for us, that training camps. There you go. Marquez beating Pacquiao is a huge fight. And honestly, man, I don't really know if Canelo is any better a fighter than Juan Manuel Marquez. I think Juan Manuel Marquez put just as good a fight up against Mayweather. He put a better fight up against he put up a better fight against Mayweather, in my opinion. You know. Don't forget about Shields. She's got belts. She got belts quickly. Yeah, man. But let's keep the women over there with Hustler home. No disrespect to women's boxing, but women's boxing and men's boxing is apples and oranges. Absolutely, completely apples and oranges. They got way less fighters. They've got way less top level fighters in those in those. But I will say this though, women's boxing is getting a lot better. For certain, it's getting a lot better. But I would not compare women's boxing to men's boxing. I think it's an unfair comparison. And anytime somebody starts talking about putting women on men's pound for pound lists, I'm like, man, you're marketing. You know, that's marketing right there. No greater example of marketing than to say that somebody, and I'm going to tell you like a woman fighter that I love, Clarissa Shields, Jessica McCaskill, Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor. I like Katie Taylor as a person a lot. I don't root for her necessarily because I know she's going to wind up fighting one of these people that I like. But I'm not going to I think that's disrespectful to them, number one. And I think it's disrespectful to the men, number two. And I'll tell you why I think it's disrespectful to women. Because you're telling me that because Clarissa Shields is the best woman, that she's so much better than every other woman that she belongs on the men's pound for pound list. Like she is just a whole sport better. Like she's a whole sport better than Amanda Serrano. Right? So are you going to start putting 2 and 3 women on men's pound for pound lists, or is it just for Clarissa Shields? Who else deserves? Oh, and by the way, or ask this question. So Clarissa Shields deserves to be in the top 10 men pound for pound. Let's do a top 50 men pound for pound. Or top 20. Let's do a top 20. Does Amanda Serrano make the top 20 men's fighters? You got to be really good at men and women's boxing. Yeah, dude. That's just they're not men. It's not fair. And I'm honestly in a pound for pound because, dude, as much as we like Clarissa Shields, she's not beating Monster Inoue. She weighs 160 pounds. Monster Inoue weighs 118. If you think Monster Inoue is going to lose to Clarissa Shields, come on, man. You're being disrespectful to Monster Inoue. You really are. Because no way. It's just not fair. It's not fair to Monster Inoue. Because Monster Inoue will beat him. Or Casimir. Or here. Do you think Clarissa Shields is going to beat Guillermo Rigondeaux in a boxing match? Seriously. Do you think Guillermo Rigondeaux is going to lose to Clarissa Shields? That's disrespectful to Monster Inoue. Monster Inoue will definitely beat Clarissa Shields. And he don't weigh but about 118 pounds soaking wet. And guess what? He's not going to be running around from her. He's going to go right at her. Like, okay, let me show you. You know what I mean? I'm going to knock her out. And more than likely, he's going to knock out that 160-pound woman because he's a man and she's a woman. He's got testosterone pumping through him and she does not. You know what I'm saying? That's not saying some Joe Blow dude in the street don't got to be worrying about Clarissa Shields beating them up. You know what I'm saying? But it's disrespectful to so many men boxers to put a woman on that list when they are so much smaller than she is. Way smaller than she. Like Lomachenko. Dude, Lomachenko weighs 135. He's a 135-pound fighter, man. No, she doesn't. Clarissa Shields does not think she can beat Keith Thurman. I have heard Clarissa Shields say, "I cannot beat up a man." She may have said it in a joking fashion. She may have said that in a joking fashion, but I've heard her say, "Man, come on, man, I'm not going to beat up a man." I've heard Ann Wolfe say that. Ann Wolfe, who is a knockout killer in the women's sport, she's like, "Look, you ain't beating no man." That's what one of the greatest women fighters ever, if not the greatest woman fighter ever, said, look, man, you are not going to beat up no man. And that's just, come on, it's just real. He said, I do recall Shields said she could beat Jake Paul up. She might be able to beat Jake Paul up. Jake Paul's not a boxer. Jake Paul ain't a boxer. Jake Paul may get beat up by her. Seriously. He may not, she may be able to hit him with stuff, and he may not be able to hit her. It's just that goes into like golf. You know what I mean? And golf and tennis. If you're a professional tennis player, a woman's professional tennis player is going to beat the brakes, the brakes off. See, Max, that is to get view. That's just for show. That's just literally for show. And it is ignorant. It's not, there's no way that's serious. That's not serious boxing conversation right there. That's goofball shit. It's not real, it's goofball shit. Renee Gordon said, Gordine said, what's good for nine? Who's the name in boxing out of Canelo or Floyd? I say Floyd, clearly Floyd. Much love in that super chat. Clearly Floyd. But Floyd's not fighting anymore. So right now you can say it's Canelo. It's Canelo. But if Floyd came back and had a real fight against a real fighter, like Errol Spence and Canelo, let me put it this way. Errol Spence Jr. versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. is bigger than any fight Canelo Alvarez can make. Right this second. If he decided to do that. B-boy, yeah, I'm just telling you though, that's not serious boxing talk. And to a fault, I do serious boxing talk. You're not going to hear me say anything dumb. Now, you may disagree with me, but I'm not going to say anything stupid. Just full out stupid. All right? Putting Clarissa Shields on a pound for pound list is stupid. It's as stupid as I can. It is hard to argue to convince me that is not just to promote Clarissa Shields. And if you want, now it's smart if you're trying to promote Clarissa Shields. But the word pound for pound is weight classes. If Clarissa Shields, it's not hormone for hormone. If they had the same hormones, if they had the same amount of testosterone in their system, if they were both men, then okay, yeah. But then if you do that, you got to put all the women in there. You got to start thinking about Amanda Serrano. You got to start thinking about Katie Taylor. You got to start thinking about that. You got to start thinking about them. You know what I mean? You got to start saying, well, Ann Wolfe is a better fighter than Sugar Ray Robinson. I mean, are you going to compare and go back and say, well, Ann Wolfe is the greatest female of all time, or the first or second greatest female of all time? She's better than Ali. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, how are you going to start comparing her to Ali? If you take that argument, if you try to take that argument somewhere, that argument doesn't go anywhere. It runs you straight into stupidity, bro. I mean, for real, it runs you straight into stupidity. And it's no insult. And here's the thing. Women do not need to be listed with men to give them full credit. Serena Williams is the greatest female athlete that I have ever seen. And that is not an insult to her to say she's the greatest female athlete that I've ever seen. Dude, there are a lot of great female athletes. A lot. And athletics with women are separate from athletics with men because of the way our bodies are developed. And it's nothing, that's true. It's a true statement and nothing wrong with that. If you feel like if you look down on women, then you may think you need to mix the two. I don't look down on women. There's nothing wrong with the fact that women are women. It's a great thing. So I don't even see the need to mix it like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're talking about, who's the greatest white fighter or who's the greatest black fighter or anything like that, because then you're starting to talk about stuff that doesn't make a difference when you're fighting. You know what I mean? If a guy can fight, a guy can fight. Any way it goes. You know what I'm saying? So it's not going to be like, well, yeah, but he's black. Which honestly, I think that a lot of people do subconsciously. They say, yeah, but he's black. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's why they get these dudes extra passes. And that's where racism comes into it. Where you look at people and you're like, you say things about Vasily Lomachenko like, I've never seen this before. What are you seeing in Lomachenko that you've never seen before out of anybody ever? You know what I mean? Come on, man. You may not have seen that against a guy that had that complexion before. That's what I think you're saying. Because I know I've seen somebody that's been a southpaw that's been changing angles very quickly and difficult to hit. I'm sure I've seen that before. Positive I've seen that before. But it was somebody like Pernell Whitaker. What has Lomachenko doing in that ring that I've not seen Pernell Whitaker do? Literally nothing. But you've never seen it before, right? That's where the conversations get silly. But talking about women boxing, dude, it's just, if there's only one woman that belongs on that list, you got to explain to me why the other women don't belong on it. And now I got to start comparing them, Amanda Serrano to Errol Spence Jr., right? Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Renee says, that's why I never do race talk with fighters. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to get out of, though, man, because usually when it comes up is when you say something bad about, when you don't like somebody of a certain ethnicity, their crowd calls you a racist and they put it on the ethnicity because that's what they're on. So if I say I don't think Canelo Alvarez is the pound for pound number one fighter in the world, that's because I hate on Mexicans. Because he's Mexican, they say I'm hating on him. Him being Mexican is what attracts them to him. So therefore, I'm hating on the thing that attracts them to him. Because if Canelo Alvarez was not Mexican, 99% of those guys would not be following Canelo Alvarez. If that makes sense to you. You see what I'm saying? If Vasily Lomachenko was not Ukrainian, there's a lot of Ukrainians that would not be following Vasily Lomachenko. So in their minds, they say, well, if you don't like Vasily Lomachenko, then they connect that with what they like about Canelo Alvarez. About Vasily Lomachenko. And they like that he's Ukrainian. So they're saying, you're just hating on Eastern European fighters. When honestly, it's not the truth. I'm looking at him and saying, looking at him like I'm looking at everybody else. And I'm not judging him because he is Ukrainian. Or I'm not judging Canelo because he's Mexican. I'm not hating, and I'm not hating on that. That's like, hold on one second. Much love in that super chat. He said, Ann Wolf versus Clarissa in their prime. Who you got? I got Ann Wolf. I'll take Ann Wolf in that for no good reason other than respect for Ann Wolf. You know what I'm saying? No, because I do believe boxing's got a lot better. Women's boxing looks better to me. I think women's boxing's got a lot better since when Ann Wolf was fighting. These girls, like that fight that I saw with Michaela Meyer versus Kanadouche, that was a great fight, man. The fights that I see, Amanda Serrano, I think Amanda Serrano is a lot better boxer than Christy Martin was, right? Definitely better fighters than people like Jackie Frater Lies and rest in peace Frida Foreman. I think that the women's boxing is a lot better, especially now that they've opened it up into the Olympics. So they're having a lot more amateur women fights. The women that are coming out of the amateurs with long amateur backgrounds, I think that they're probably more fundamentally sound than the ones that were really kind of at the forefront of introducing women's boxing. If that makes sense to you, but Ann Wolf will knock your head off. Ann Wolf can fight, and Ann Wolf will knock your head clean off your shoulders. So you know what I mean? That whole George Foreman, I'm about to kill you aspect of it, comes into there, man. Robbie said, not the color of the skin, but judgment of the character. I'm not who you're talking about, Rob. Quincy Carter, man, much love in that super chat, man. Quincy Carter said, I got Ann Wolf stopping Sugar Ray late. Yeah. Exactly. That's why, man, it's like, dude, that's just casual boxing talk. You see it? You know what I mean? That is casual boxing talk. When you start talking and trying to mix men and women's boxing, when you know full well that, dude, there's not a woman champion on this planet that is going to beat Monster Inoue. Just not going to happen, bro. At any weight class. She could be 200 pounds. She's not beating Monster Inoue. I'm telling you, she could be the heavyweight champion of women's boxing. And if she gets in there with Monster Inoue, she's going to get beat. And that dude is about 5'3", 125 pounds soaking wet. And that's just the truth of the matter. And it's not fair to the woman. She should not have to do that. It's just casual. I mean, you can't take people seriously that say that. Like, it's hard for me to take you serious when you say that, because it's like you didn't think it out. You're just saying it because you support her, which is cool, But you're saying it because you support her, not because you've actually thought that out and said, "All right, let me put her there and let's evaluate this." If she was the same size as Monster Inoue, or Monster Inoue was 5'10", 160 pounds, what would happen with her and Monster Inoue? They wouldn't sanction. The answer to that question is they would not sanction that fight. That's the answer to that question. What would happen if Tyson Fury was 5'10", 160 pounds? What would happen in that fight between her and Claressa Shields? They would not sanction that fight. That is the answer to that question. You wouldn't have to get into footwork. You wouldn't have to get into any of that. The fact of it is, if they were the same size, the same weight, Claressa Shields would not be asked to fight them. Primarily because she is a woman and is not strong enough or fast enough, because she does not have a body built for that. Her body, there are things we can't do that they can do, okay? And we should not be asked to do the things that their bodies are designed to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. Those are just facts. Curtis Sewell said, "Why can't women have their own pound for pound?" It's exactly. That's how you respect her. You respect her. Oh, you mean all things being equal? Yeah, all things being equal. You can't. How can you equalize for that? You can't. Because everything, you just can't equalize for it. It doesn't make sense. It's silly. I'm just saying, and here's the real thing. If you want to pay respect to Claressa Shields, do a women's pound for pound list. And then see if anybody's interested in talking about it. But I promise you, they won't do that, because you're not going to get anybody interested in talking about it, because they can't name 10 women's they probably can't name you 10 women's boxers that belong on that list. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's your top 10 women boxers? And I'm going to tell you flat. Watch. Claressa Shields, Katie Taylor, in no particular order. Claressa Shields, Katie Taylor, Michaela Meyer, Amanda Serrano, Jessica McCaskill, Cecilia Brækhus, Callie Reese, Chantel, whatever Chantel's last name is. My girlfriend, Franchers DeZorn Cruz. Right out, you start running it out. I'm saying, I got Franchise. After that, around 10, you're not going to get to 20. You know what I'm saying? Get to 20. Like, get to 20. Name 20 women's boxers. If you can name 20 women's boxers, okay. But I promise you this, bro. If I sat there with somebody and asked them, give me 20, name 25 women boxers, I guarantee you everybody's going to have a hard time getting through that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to have a hard time getting through that. Getting through 20. And that's just the truth. With men's boxing, because it's so deep, you can get through it easily. So you can actually do that list. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Floyd Mayweather beat Alvarez and Pacquiao easily. I only Shields, Nunes, Cyborg in women's combat. Yeah, now you can do that in women's combat. You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Cohen said, I can't, honestly. And that's being honest. Because women's boxing is not developed to the point where you have 30 women that you can name that are top-notch fighters. And it's and hopefully that'll change. Over time, that'll change, and then you'll be able to come up with those lists. You know what I'm saying? Because quiet is kept, bro. Women's tennis make the people at the top of women's tennis make as much money as the men at the top of women's tennis. Because people know how good women's tennis players are because there's so many good women tennis players. Women's boxing just needs to develop to the stage that women's tennis are. There's no shame in being the best women tennis player in the world. They get equal pay as far as the purses and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? He said Richard's about 10 tops. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So the next person that you say should come up with that, just challenge and ask them. Name 30 women boxers for me. Name 30 women's boxers. I guarantee you I can name 30 men's boxers. Not going to be, and it's not going to be difficult because I can name two people in 15 weight classes. Easy. You know what I'm saying? Easy. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, Alexander Usyk, Big Baby Miller, Luis Ortiz, right? Daniel Dubois, Jared Anderson, Hellenius, 10. Go to cruiserweight. What's my man's name at cruiserweight? That's gonna be tough. Dorticos, Brakis, Gassiev, Talib. Yeah, there you go. Then go down to 175, and I can go 10 in pretty much every weight class. And you get to 30 easy. So you then have all of those people that you can say, okay, well, let's compare these guys. You know what I mean? But if you cannot name 15 female fighters that really deserve to be in the conversations. No, I said Hannah Gabriels. I didn't forget Hannah Gabriels. I said Hannah Gabriels. You know what I'm saying? But that's why women's boxers got to go to the MMA. You know what I'm saying? He said, you good at cruiser, not sure who has the titles anymore. Yeah, cruiser's a little more difficult, bro. But don't worry about it. I'll say, what's that dude's name at Bridgerweight now? You know what I'm saying? The Bridgerweight dude. Oscar Rivas and Bryant Jennings, man. It's just easy, man. It's real easy, man. He said, I can't even name 5 female fighters. Yeah, it's right. So, and neither can the guys, and neither can the guys that are talking about making a pound for pound, talking about they need to be on men's pound for pound lists. Because you don't really have it's not deep enough to compare their skill set. Aside from the issue of them just not physically being able to compete in men's boxing. You know what I mean? He said, Nope, I forgot you good. Yeah. I remember Hannah Gabriels. I said, dude, I like women's. I watch and pay attention to women's boxing, bro. I do. I've been watching and paying attention to women's boxing for a long time. Not just a little while. I've been watching for a very long. I've been watching them from the time of man, God dog, her name is slipping me right now. That's a shame. But what's the name of the she's from Denmark. The one from Denmark that played in $1 Million Baby and killed the girl in $1 Million Baby. Forgetting her name, man, right now, man. God dog, man. I got to get that off there. Trey said, you think Crawford should be number 1 pound for pound? I think he is number 1 pound for pound. Yeah, I do. I look at number 1 pound for pound as the scoring criteria. I look at the scoring criteria of boxing. And I think the balance of that scoring criteria, I think he's got the best mix of it. I'm not going strictly off, well, who did he fight? And this guy had bigger fights. Because seriously, man, Canelo Alvarez has had a couple good fights. He's had some good fights. But I don't think, he's had Gennady Golovkin, he's had Floyd Mayweather Jr. Those guys were guys that were at the top of the sport and near the top pound for pound guys. Gennady Golovkin and Floyd Mayweather Jr. Yeah, Lucia Riker. Thank you. Lucia Riker. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I forgot. Yeah, Hillary Swank. No. I was talking about Lucia Riker. Lucia Riker was a really good fighter, man. And they were talking about, it was like, and Layla, oh, yeah, you get my point, man. Man, where was I? Oh, Deborah, what'd Deborah say? He said, too many people want to be pretty. We don't want to get our faces beat all that boxing. I'd rather watch men do it. Looks better. Deborah, boy, hey, thanks. Deborah, here's another thing. Yeah, not a lot of women want to get punched in the face and look and get that I got punched in the face look. You know what I mean? So why Terence? Why Crawford? Because, Trey, let me ask you a question. And then I'll answer your question. But you got to answer a question for me. And I say this in all. Trey, what's the scoring criteria of boxing? How do you score a boxing match? And if you can't answer, you owe me a super chat. And then I'll answer the question. Man, I wish I made more coffee. I'm going to wait for you, Trey. Here's my gamble, because you need an explanation. I'm going to bet with you. Give me the scoring criteria of boxing. Okay? And then you tell me why he's not. Street said punches. Very general, more specific than punches. And I'll give you a second. If you don't know, if you don't want to answer, just say you don't want to answer. Don't give him the answer. Caden, I'm asking him. Don't give him the answer. I'm saying don't give him the answer. So anyway, it took you too long. Okay, no, not power shots, no. Movement activity, no. All right, so let's just say that you guys do not know how to score a boxing match. So my question is, if you do not know how to score a boxing match, how do you know who number one pound for pound is? Trey said generalship, landing, punching, dictating the fight. Wrong. Trey, that is a wrong answer. That is wrong. So, unless you know how to score a boxing match, how to score a round, you don't know who the best fighter is. Got it? Oh, I saw it, Steve. I saw it, and the answer was wrong. It is effective aggression, clean, effective punching, ring generalship, and defense. Like the four corners of a boxing ring, you have four scoring criteria. And like the blue and the red corner, you have two that are primarily defensive and two that are primarily offensive. I say he's the number one pound for pound because of his ring generalship, his defense, his effective aggressiveness, and his clean and effective punching. And I think the area that he beats Canelo Alvarez in is in defense. I think he's better defensively than Canelo Alvarez is. He does not take as many punches. I think he's just as good as effective aggression. I think he's just as good in ring generalship. And I think he's good in just as good. Yeah, he gets the advantage in defense. Because he switches to southpaw, and then all of a sudden you can't touch him. Now, nowhere in how you score a fight is how good was a guy you fought 5 years ago. See what I'm saying? I ask, and I'm telling you, every time you guys ask me to defend pound for pound, I ask you guys that question and you don't know the answer. So maybe you don't know. right? How do you win a basketball game? Everybody knows that. Whoa, you win a basketball by scoring the most points, right? So then you argue, well, what goes into scoring those points? Well, you got to either stop somebody from scoring more than you do on defense. You can have offense all day, but if they score more points than you, you lose. You can have defense, you have great defense, but if you can't score, you lose. So it always comes down to who scores more points at the end of that clock. Wins the boxing match. See what I mean? And you guys very rarely ever answer that question correctly. You tell me, well, look at his resume. He hasn't fought anybody in 9 years. Okay. What were those guys that Canelo Alvarez fought? What were they doing? Caleb Plant, how good was he? Did Canelo Alvarez beat somebody with great offensive, that is a great aggressive fighter in Caleb Plant? But anyway, you get my point, man. So I'm telling you what I think, and that is why I think that. And I think that is I think that's fair. Now, if you told me that you thought, for that reason, you thought Canelo Alvarez is better, I'd say, okay, that's cool. We can agree to disagree. But if you can't even tell me how you score a boxing match, then why should I be having a conversation with you or really take you seriously when you criticize me for my opinion? My opinion is at least based on how you score a boxing match. Your guys is based on something else. You know what I mean? You're like, you might as well be telling me you think, oh, the best player, the best team in the NBA is the Chicago Bulls. Why? Oh, because I like their uniform and they sell more tickets. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're telling me. You're like, whoa, yeah. I really think the LA Lakers are the best are better than and I'm saying they may suck. I don't pay attention to them. But yeah, I think the New York Knicks are the best team in basketball because they sell the most tickets. You know what I'm saying? Or I think that the Dallas Cowboys are the best football team because they sell they sell the most tickets. That's not how football works, bro. It's who scores the most points, and they keep losing games. You know what I mean? They didn't get the Super Bowl. Why are you saying because they sell more tickets. More people watch them. You know what I mean? They're better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because not as many people watch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And those are the arguments a lot of you guys make for pound. You talk about how popular the fighter is. Or you hold it against the fighter that they can't get fights because they're not as popular as the guy that you like. And that to me just doesn't make a lot of sense. But you're welcome for that lesson. Now tell me I don't know my boxing again. You know what I mean? Sit up there like a cornball and tell me what I don't know. And you're just a racist because you say that. Hey, you're a bozo, bro. Richard Hill in that bill said, Team Spence, it's strap season. Absolutely. Ask me a boxing question, though, bro. Sabir Mike said, who said Crawford's clean, not in top rank? What? Not in top rank. Company that don't test, all due respect. Well, he's never tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs. If you don't test positive for performance-enhancing drugs, you're a clean fighter, as far as I know. You know what I mean? I'll say that about anybody. I'm not going to hit Manny Pacquiao because if Manny Pacquiao don't test positive, if he doesn't test positive, he didn't test positive. You know what I'm saying? See, look, man, come on, bro. Give Canelo his credit and I like Crawford, but nah, dog. JC, that's whack. Are you talking to me, JC? If you're responding to me, nah, bro, stop. I explained to you why. It ain't about giving Canelo Alvarez credit. I can give Canelo Alvarez credit all the way. I can say he's number 2. I'm not how is it, if this is what you're saying, how am I not giving him credit just because I don't say that he's the best? You're telling me that I have to agree with you. You're saying, oh, no, you got to agree with me. You're not telling me to give him credit. Because I gave him credit. I'm saying he's a great fighter. I'm saying I think Terence Crawford, when I look at the scoring criteria of boxing and what I've seen him do in the ring, I think Terence Crawford's better than him. How is that not in order for me not to be giving him credit, you're telling me that I got to agree with you. I'm telling you I'm giving him his credit. He is a top fighter. That's his credit. I'm not going to give him more credit than I think he deserves. Renee Goda said, Canelo versus Andre Ward, who wins that fight? Much love in that super chat. In their prime, Andre Ward. For the same reasons that I just said. For the same reasons. And ring generalship is one of them. Because Canelo Alvarez is slow of foot. And Andre Ward is not slow of foot. And that is going to be an advantage to him in ring generalship. Same thing with Terence Crawford. I think he's got an advantage in ring generalship because of his foot speed. You're not, and because of his ability to switch stances. That's what I would say. I'm not even going to get into the PEDs because people you guys obviously ain't listening to that. You know what I mean? Like, obviously y'all don't care about the PEDs. You know what I mean? That's just out the window. You know what I'm saying? When we start talking about Canelo, y'all don't even care. So I'll leave that alone. And I'm just going to tell you, man, if you take PEDs away from it, I would say he's probably number 2 behind it, but probably number 2 behind Terence Crawford. I think he's ahead of Errol Spence, and I think he's ahead of Josh Taylor and guys like that. But I think that is plenty credit for him, bro. I think that's plenty credit. But I'm not hating if I don't agree with you. You know what I mean? Fahim said Canelo test, that's obvious. You know what I mean? You know what it is, but they don't care about that, bro. Timmy Z to B said Bud stops Porter in the 11th round. Hey man, somebody else said that. I like that. Y'all got that 11th round in your head, huh? Y'all got that 11th round in your head, huh? Renee Box Young said, quite fair assessment, Fannon. Hey, thank you. Man, I appreciate that, man. I try to be fair, bro. I try to be fair. But you know what it is. If you don't agree with what somebody else says, you're hating. But I can tell you logically why I believe what I believe. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it. I'm definitely not saying it just to make people mad or just to be sensational. You know what I'm saying? Greg Gabriel says, salute Fannon. Much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you so much for the support. He said, how can you score Crawford higher compared to other fighters when his competition is lackluster by comparison? I don't think it's lackluster by comparison. Well, first of all, let's do something. Lackluster compared to who? Lackluster compared to who? Every person that I have seen Terence Crawford get in the ring with, Terence Crawford is beaten, and he's beaten convincingly. There's been a gap between him and anybody else. Number one. Number two, not a lot of people have been fighting better competition than him. Not a lot of people. Canelo has, but Canelo Alvarez has also lost against that more luster competition, like Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather Jr. made him look flat-footed. Gennady Golovkin got a draw with him. Gennady Golovkin showed weaknesses in Canelo Alvarez. He had a lot of people think he lost to Gennady Golovkin. A lot of people think he lost to Erislandy Lara. A lot of people think he lost to Austin Trout. I have never seen anybody come close to beating Terence Crawford. Now, how lackluster they are depends on what you think of those other fighters. And personally, I don't think very highly of Caleb Plant. I don't think very highly of Callum Smith. I don't think very highly of Billy Joe Saunders. I don't think very highly of Yaldemir. I don't think very highly of Danny Jacobs. I do not think Daniel Jacobs is any better a fighter really than Ricky Burns was. And he beat Ricky Burns. I don't think a lot of those guys are any better fighter than Ray Beltran when he beat Ray Beltran. I don't think those guys are significantly better fighters than when he beat Victor Postol. Victor Postol still went the distance with Josh Taylor, who's on the pound for pound list. And he beat Victor Postol. Right? So, although I don't think he's got the best resume in boxing, the only issue I really have with Terence Crawford and who he's been fighting is at welterweight. not who he fought at 135 or who he fought at 140. But again, I'm looking at what they do in the ring when I see them fight. I'm not going to be like, whoa, everybody tells me that this is a great fight. Like, none of those fights, half of those guys, none of those guys that Canelo Alvarez has fought in the last 4 months are world beaters, man. None of them. You know what I mean? But that's my take. You got to have it. But if you have your take, I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with it. But understand, dude, that I have a reason why I say that. And why Errol Spence Jr. is not pound for pound number one for me is because he hasn't done it in multiple weight classes, and pounds come into play on that. Terence Crawford and he is not, and I think he is very good at effective aggressiveness and clean and effective punching, right? And ring generalship. But also in defense, I don't know if his defense is as good as Terence Crawford's defense. However, when they get in a fight together, I would give the favor to Errol Spence Jr. But these are my opinions. None of it is half baked for me. Jay Milne said, much love in that super, said, a lot of respect, bro. Thoughts on Conor Benn? He's a good fighter. He's a good fighter, and I hope he can get to the A level. I hope he gets to the A level fighter, but I do not think that he is going to be like, keep him away from Jaron Ennis. Like, I don't think he's that level of fighter. But he's a very good fighter, and probably the best welterweight that the UK has to offer. And I would not mind seeing him in a Josh Taylor match. I think that would be fun. I love his style because of how aggressive he is. He's always going to be a good guy to watch. That's my take on him. Damon Wester, much love. He said, explain how Bud over Spence in pound for pound, but not in welterweight. I just did. Because in pound for pound, we're talking about a hypothetical situation where you're comparing how well balanced these fighters are with one another. That's what you're doing in pound for pound. When you're talking about in welterweight, you're talking about what's going to happen in that ring for real. You know what I'm saying? So like, Monster Inoue may be a better pound for pound fighter than Caleb Plant is, right? Like, nobody's going to put Monster Inoue, Canelo Alvarez above Monster Inoue pound for pound. That's not going to happen. However, if you put Monster Inoue in the ring with him, Caleb Plant's going to knock out Monster Inoue. You know what I'm saying? He's going to knock him out. He's going to knock him out. Same thing with Canelo Alvarez and Luis Ortiz or Deontay Wilder. Nobody's going to think. Anybody stupid enough to believe Canelo Alvarez is going to beat Deontay Wilder in a boxing match, you're nuts. Deontay Wilder is going to run right at him and drop bombs till his arms get tired. And you better believe that Canelo Alvarez is going to get knocked out. And he ain't going to have to use no craft to do it. He's going to run right at him. Way too big, way too strong. So his size takes him out of that. With Errol Spence, when I look at the scoring criteria of boxing, I say Canelo, that they're even in clean and effective punching. They're even in ring generalship. They're even in ring generalship. They're even in let me start that again. They're even in clean and effective punching. They're clean. They're even. I think Errol might even have an advantage in effective aggressiveness. But in the defensive category, I give Terence Crawford a distance over him in the defensive category because of what he can do in southpaw. All of the talk about him being a guy that'll switch, to me, that's a defensive move from him, and he can shut you off, a lot of fighters off right away when he switches to southpaw and buy himself time and clear everything out. And then when he wants to get aggressive again, boom, he'll switch back. But if those two guys fight each other, I think Errol Spence Jr.'s size and the things that he does have will beat Terence Crawford. I hope that makes sense to you. Set for Life, and much love in that super chat. Set for Life Productions said Ward is not only naturally bigger fighter, but he has a higher skill set. That's just my opinion. Yeah, I agreed. I think he's better defensively. I think he's definitely much more active than Canelo Alvarez. So his aggression, his effective aggressiveness, I think is better than Canelo's. I think he has better ring generalship. I think he's a better all-around fighter than Canelo Alvarez is. And I'm telling you, Canelo Alvarez's chin will have to stand up because he's going to be in a fight where he is going to get bipped to that body, something nasty. Giant TV, man, holding down that chat, man. Thank you, brother. Giant TV says, super chat, super chat, super chat. Good stuff, Fannon. Always enjoy listening to you while at work. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, man. Because I do know my boxing, man, despite what these Fannon doesn't blah, blah. Yeah, whatever, bro. I study, man. I'll be better. I'll know boxing better next week than I know it this week. What about you, fella? You know what I mean? Let me move down to the end of this. Chop Money said, Arrow can switch to southpaw for nine. Nah, he is a southpaw, Chop Money. He ain't switching to southpaw. He is a southpaw. You mean he can switch to orthodox is what you mean, right? You mean he switches to orthodox because he can definitely do that, bro. Hey, y'all, hold on 1 second, man. Just give me 1 second. 1 second, I'll be right back. All right, my bad. Oh, you need some elevator music for the bathroom break? I got some, though. I got some. I'll do it next time. Hey, this is my bathroom music right here. Hold on. This is my music. I'll do it this next time. Oh, no. Hold on. Where is it, man? I'll do it next time. Yeah, I'll get you next time, man. Sorry about that, man. They be getting on me. Some long live streams, man. You know, I hope you guys don't hold that against me. Daniel Shaver. Oh, that's not for me. Yeah, I'll make sure I do that next time, man. I'll make sure I do that next time. Bud will send a message after taking care of Porter. Yeah, I hope so. We'll see. You know what I mean? Terrell W said, I don't think Crawford switching to southpaw would help against Spence because Spence is a southpaw. Exactly. That's one of the things. Somebody called me out on my bathroom break, man. This coffee be there, man. I've been talking. I've been talking for a long time, man. And this smile, too. I got a smile. I got lot of smiling, man. Dog, I love. He said, oh, Ward's body attack underrated. Oh, they forget completely about that, bro. I'm trying to tell you. Let your intro play. Yeah, I'll do that next time, bro. I'll do that next time. I'll let the intro play, man. I'll take a second to do it that way, man. Yeah, I think that works, man. Your intro, what music is hell? Yeah, that's what's up. I haven't been doing the intro music that much coming in. I just been, I don't like to do too much, man. I need to fancy up the channel, bro. Oh man, Renee Box Young said, I heard Thurman possibly fighting Abel Ramos soon. I hope whatever he does, dude, I hope he gets in there and starts fighting pretty soon, man. Trey said, do you think Ward beat Kovalev in the first fight? I know he did. Trey, let me tell you, man. I like you. But on this channel, I'm telling you what I'm going to do every time. If you tell me that somebody lost something and they didn't, I'm going to immediately tell you they lost that fight. Okay? I'm telling you. And you got to sit on that L. Every time. Andre Ward did beat Sergey Kovalev in that fight. Sit on that L. I'm not going to get into hypothetical. If you want to say that he showed some weaknesses in that fight, then okay, we can have that conversation. And that type of conversation we can have. But if you keep telling me that he lost it, I'm going to tell you, bro, I don't have to think about who won that fight. I know Andre Ward won that fight because that's what the judges said. I'm going to do it every time, bro, because I'm not going to walk down no rabbit hole with you. I'm not. You're going to sit there and try to convince me that a fight where a guy won and moved on, that he lost. And then I'm not going to do it. Same thing with Lara. I'm telling you, I know Canelo beat Lara. I will say some people think Canelo beat Lara. He said, we agree to disagree. You should be a boxing judge. I'm telling you, Trey, there ain't no disagreement there. There's just no disagreement. It is an objective fact. There's no disagreement. It's an objective fact. He won the fight. If we cannot have objective facts in boxing where there are objective facts, we'll never get anywhere, man. You know what I'm saying? Things that are objective facts are objective facts. You don't get to change them for the sake of your argument. I'm telling you, it's just not ever going to work. What you could say is, and I'll help you with it, say that he was exposed by Kovalev, that he can't take a punch. And Canelo Alvarez is as good a puncher as a bigger puncher than Kovalev, and he will catch Andre Ward, and he'll knock Andre Ward out because of what I saw in the Sergey Kovalev fight. I would take that argument and say, okay, we can debate that. But I'm not going to debate whether or not he won the fight. That's me giving up something that I know is an objective. I already know he won the fight. I watched the fight. I saw it. At the end of it, he raised his hand. His record is undefeated. It just is what it is. Same thing with all these Tyson Fury fans that want to turn around, want to tell you that that Deontay Wilder lost 3 times to Tyson Fury. No, he didn't. He got a draw out that. That's why they had a second fight. Okay? And he had a rematch clause. That's why he had a third fight. You guys want to get away from what is actually true. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to do that. Not going to do it. Not going to let you get away with trying to cheat by claiming people got losses that they don't have. Same thing with Castillo versus Floyd. He said Castillo versus Floyd, the fight could have gone either way. It went Floyd's way. Exactly. Could have went any way. Exactly, bro. Fannon, commentary tells a layman who's winning the fight. Oh, all the time. And the media will tell you because they'll just treat it like it was a win. Like they trying to do with Canelo and Floyd. They try to justify that loss. It's almost like, man, you cannot polish that turd. Lady, you cannot polish that turd. It's not going to work. Like, well, Canelo really learned a lot from this fight. This loss is what made Canelo what he is today. No, it did not. Canelo lost the fight. Do not try to polish his turd, man. It's sitting right there. Okay, no, it is not. Okay, what made Canelo Alvarez what he is today is not having to fight too many Floyd Mayweathers. That's what made him what he is today. The fact that he didn't have to fight Floyd Mayweather Jr., somebody else that fights like that. Okay, that's why. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to do that again. And he can move on and y'all still love him. And that's what's up. Caleb Ruiz, man, much love in that super chat, man. You know what I'm saying? That'd be like, that's what made him the fighter he is today. Nah, man. Nah. What he learned from that fight was stay away from cats that feet move too fast. Stay away from that, homie. Stay away from that, man. Oh gosh, shit is hilarious to me, man. They be trying to act like it's a victory for Canelo. Like, oh, that's a win for Canelo. He was a young fighter and he got in with the great champ, and that was a win because he won in the experience of it. Man, yeah, hey man, can you work for me? Like seriously, like I ever get somebody that I need to cheerlead for me, I need somebody like y'all doing that for me. Whitefire 322 said, hold on, man, did I miss a super chat? Hold on. I don't think so. Or did I do it? Did I do it? Oh, no, I got Caleb Ruiz. Thank you so much, man. He said, Fannon, great, good dude, very humble man. Who you talking about with that? Nah, he'll fight a black fighter. Nah, I believe he'll fight a black fighter. He will. If he doesn't, seriously, I give him another fight, bro. He got another fight, bro. After that, dog, it's time to run, man. You got to do it. Hey, Caleb Ruiz, man, much love in that super chat. Thank you so much, man. He said, I think Spence is a little bit better defense for Fannon. We seen Bud get dropped and hurt on several occasions. Yeah, but that's when he's exchanging. That's when he is exchanged. But that's a good point. It's a good point. CG Cap said he talking about Arrow Fannon. Okay, I'm sorry, man. Man, famous man, dude. Please don't say that dude's name around me. I'm serious. I don't even know who that dude is. Never, ever seen that. I've seen his channel one time. Never listened to him. Never. Never. Cats be talking about me a lot, man. That's the only reason I be thinking you guys are doing commercials for the dude, man. Anyway, Ron Miller said, Floyd schooled Canelo and got the win. I only wish Sweet Pea had gotten the win when he schooled Chavez Sr. Yeah. And just as equal to that, I wish he would have got the win against Oscar De La Hoya. But here's the thing, bro. He didn't. You know what I'm saying? He didn't. He didn't get it. So he didn't get it. He didn't get it. As much as I wanted him to get it, he didn't get it. And it's unfortunate, but he didn't get it. Hold on one second, man. Hold on. Did it. I got to do something. Oh, that's a lot. Oh, there you go. All right, I had to do something. The world's greatest robbery. What's the world's great? Oh, yeah, that was sad, man. Yeah, but you can claim robbery, though. Feel that. Just say robbery. Oh, it was a robbery, though. If it's a robbery, you believe it's a robbery. I can't argue about whether you thought it was a robbery or not. But watch this. It was a robbery, but the dude won. Because if he didn't win, it wouldn't be a robbery. You know what I'm saying? You can't get robbed. A guy can't get robbed if he won. The guy lost because of the robbery. And then we got to get into the fight and say, okay, well, how did you score the fight? How did I score the fight? I understand why a lot of people thought they thought Andre Ward got a gift. Because on the real, if you listen to that commentary, he lost the fight. You know what I'm saying? He lost the fight according to HBO, because they was out there busy cheerleading so much, they weren't noticing the man lose rounds. You know what I'm saying? They were like, dude, he got a knockdown in like the second round. And after that, bro, they were just like, just continually jocking this dude. You know what I mean? Jose Rodriguez said, I give much props for the way Floyd beat Canelo. Yeah, man. They ain't no joke, bro. Ain't no joke right there. That Canelo's a really good fighter, man. But honestly, man, Canelo is not Roy Jones Jr., man. You see what I mean? He's not Roy Jones Jr. He is not James Toney. He is not Bernard Hopkins. He's not that level of fighter, man. He's not. And from my opinion, he is not that level of fighter. And I don't think, and it's when you put him up there and say that he's a better fighter than he is, that's where you run short of me, because he's not a better fighter than those guys. Floyd Mayweather Jr., on the other hand, is a better fighter than James Toney. He's a better fighter than Bernard Hopkins. I think he was a better fighter than Roy Jones Jr. Floyd Mayweather Jr. as a fighter was like that as a fighter. And I mean at 130 pounds, 135 pounds. I'm not talking about one at 147. I'm saying what he did at 147 for me is like icing on the cake. But if you watch that dude fight when he was at 130, 135, those weight during that period, man, that's hard to see a better fighter than that. Better fighter, a more talented fighter. And here's another thing. Canelo doesn't have the level of talent that those guys have. And I'm just being real. He doesn't have the talent. He has the skills, but he doesn't have the talent that those guys have. He's not fighting guys that are tremendously talented fighters. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's not fighting guys that talented. Gennady Golovkin is not Andre Ward. He's not that talented. He's not James Toney. He's not that level of talent, bro. You know what I mean? Hey, Freddie Jimenez said I was talking about Errol. Yeah, I'm sorry, man, if I misconceived, because I forgot the whole subject now. You know what I'm saying? Michael Kirkland, much love in that super chat, man. Said I agree, Canelo not on that level. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's that good a fighter, bro. Who? Damon Wester said, once in a lifetime, right, Fannon? Nah, not in my lifetime. He's probably... Twice? Maybe twice? Maybe twice. Maybe twice. I'd have to think, though. But Floyd is like that, bro. Like that. You know what I mean? Like that. Really, really like that, bro. He's... Giovanni said, Fannon, you said drop bombs to get your arms too tired. You burn out, homie. So you said drop bombs to get your arms tired. You burn out, homie. What you mean? I don't know what you mean. I'm not burnt out. I feel good. But I'm not sure what you mean by that, man. Actually, to me, Canelo and Errol are about the same fighter. I'd give the edge to Errol, but not too much. That's fair. I'm going to tell you what I think is really similar to that. He got a lot of slack for saying it. But I'll tell you there's somebody that I think is very similar to Canelo, but is a little bit more talented. I think Gervonta Davis is. I think Gervonta Davis is very similar to Canelo Alvarez, but a little bit better athlete. He's going to have to prove it, and he's going to have to get those signature wins, but against guys his own size. I wasn't mad when Gervonta Davis said that, because they do fight very similarly. Very, very similarly. They have the same, they're diminutive guys, short, thick, solid guys that will beat taller fighters. They both, and only differences to me, they both extremely powerful fighters. I just think that Canelo's more experienced right now, but I think that Gervonta Davis is probably a better athlete. Rich Jimenez, I'm a hater. Okay, I'm a hater. And okay, Richard, I'm not even gonna do it with you. I'm just gonna throw you out. It's just you're a Canelo bot. I got you. You're a Canelo bot. I'm a hater. Get out of here. I say that I think that he's not better than Roy Jones Jr. and I'm a hater. Why is he better than Roy Jones, man? Roy Jones Jr. won a heavyweight championship. Moved from the same weight division, 154, got a heavyweight championship. Beat James Toney, beat Bernard Hopkins. Got a gift against Tarver, but he beat him. He's got a better resume. You get away from the knockout losses of Roy Jones Jr., bro? Come on, man. Canelo ain't no Roy Jones Jr., man. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, King Grayson? Now, you know I'm chilling, man. Oh, Fannon said, when you thinking twice in a lifetime, you ain't thinking about Shakur, are you? Dude, I am trying to tell you. That's where my mind popped. I was like, let's wait till I get a little older. Hopefully I got a little bit more lifetime in me, and I get to see how this Jaron Ennis and Shakur Stevenson thing pans out. You say, hey, Fahim, you officially know me. Because I was like, I'll give him the advantage. I'll give him the advantage over Andre Ward. For sure. I give him over Andre Ward. I'll give him over Sugar Ray Leonard. I'll give him over anybody in the 90s. I give him over Roy, but barely over Roy. You know, because it's close between him and Roy for me. It's close. A lot closer than people, because people forget. Y'all must have forgot what that man can do in the boxing ring. Yeah, Canelo ain't no Bernard Hopkins, bro. I mean, like, dude, it's like you're a hater for saying that Bernard Hopkins, bro. But, dude, seriously, why would anybody pick Canelo Alvarez to beat Bernard Hopkins at 160 or 168? It would be mind-boggling to me if you pick that man. Mind-boggling to me if you pick that man to beat that guy. I can't see it, man. Your thoughts on Porter sparring Plant and Martin? I mean, it is what it is, man. He's a developed fighter. That fight is gonna be what it's gonna be, man. He's a developed fighter, so the fight's gonna be what it's gonna be. I ain't tripping on none of it. No joke. You know what I'm saying? I don't really think too much of it at all, man. I think that these guys know each other, and it's gonna be a great fight, bro. Brother said Computerall is a hell of a drug, bro. See, notice I didn't even bring it up, man. I didn't even bring that up about the juicing and all that. I'm not gonna get into that, man. Look, man, hit the like button because I know some of y'all in this chat weren't here when this chat started. But look, man, I'm going to get up out of here, man. I'm going to check you guys out tomorrow. Thank you guys to everybody that came by the chat. This was a lot of fun chopping it up, man. Make sure y'all chop it up with me tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Again, check out the videos that I dropped throughout the day today. And with that, I'm out. Peace. Man, it's taking a long time for them to cut this.